And then I think I click this. Welcome to the 42. We are sans Chris, but we have costumes, so I feel like that makes up for not having Chris here.
I think so.
I would say so.
I'm going to put this up before I forget. We are joined by special guest Danielle Reynolds, who, if you were at QsCon, you met her. If you have not met her, you should meet her. We will get into all the things that Danielle does in the industry and all the good she brings to people. Our lineup for the evening will be to talk about Danielle and the stuff that she does. We're going to do a top 5 games for Halloween, which I'm excited about. Not that I like Halloween or anything, right? And then I want to have a little bit of a discussion because it's something that I enjoy talking about. The co-designing a game versus being a solo designer on a game. I think we can all contribute to an interesting discussion, which will then lead us into playing HerStory. I'm very excited about this, and I'm gonna beat both of you.
I was like, haha, so excited. Even though we're not playing this copy, we're playing the digital copy.
To kind of jump ahead, the production value of the game was stellar, and I really loved that they included that little envelope of like a thank you with the bookmarks and the postcards and the stickers. That was really like a nice little note that they added in there. It was really smart.
I love the postcards, and I got like a bunch of extra ones, so I've been planning some fun stuff for those postcards.
Nice. That's good. And the insert with the mat and everything about it. Obviously, I read through the rule book. We're both ready to play, but everything about it so far looks really, really good. So we'll get into that later. First, we want to introduce again Danielle Reynolds. Thank you for being on the show.
No, thanks for having me.
Dressing up in this Halloween season.
Yeah, superhero.
Yeah, I know we're all Disney sellouts. Did you notice that? We're all like Marvel, Star Wars.
Disney owns my soul at this point. So
yeah, it's the one subscription I won't let go of.
Oh, really?
Hey, Alan and John and Dave and Steven. My goodness.
Yeah. Howdy. I'm just getting to it now. It's great to see you guys. Dave, good to see you. I'm a little depressed, Dave. I haven't seen the dude in a while. So get on that, please.
Yes, I feel like you should get dressed up for Halloween.
Yes.
Yep. For sure. So Danielle, let's start the timer. Tell people about yourselves.
I was going to say, since you are Star Wars, I feel like my credits are just the beginning of a Star Wars movie. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
if you saw the episode last week, if I hear that music and see that Star Wars thing, I'll start crying. So don't do that to me.
I'll try my best. You don't have reign over me changing things. But so I'm Danielle Reynolds. My full-time job is the head of kids game design development at Underdog Games, which is actually the publisher of HerStory that we're playing later. And how I got my job was I got hired to co-design that game, and they liked me, so they hired me full-time. So that was a great gig for me, and I've enjoyed every moment working with them. They're a terrific team. So that's my full-time job. But then, as they said, I have quite a few credits because I do a lot of volunteer work. Like everything I do is really about putting new faces into gaming. And that includes I am on the board for Unpub, which for any designer out there or people that enjoy games, it's the unpublished network where you go to play test game ideas you have. So like try to polish it off before you either pitch it or maybe you pitched it, landed it, you're trying to develop it. It's a great thing to check out. We have these like mini pubs. So the little Unpub mini that is going to be at PAX Unplugged. And then there's one at BGG Con that's this year. And then we have our Prime that's next year. So tons of cool stuff to check out. Do that. I also am an admin for Board Game Broad Plus, which is just a community of women, femme-presenting individuals, just like hobbyists, designers, publishers, just anyone looking for a community in that space. So that's just like a thing where you follow and talk to people and post about your Kickstarter or whatever you want to do. And then I have my podcast, Game Design Unbox, Inspiration Publication, that I keep harassing Michael to be on in the future. And so that's all about just talking to different game designers about the games they made, kind of like inspired by that Unwrapped show from Food Network where they talk about like how a Jolly Rancher gets made. So basically same concept. Take a game, ask how it like the idea came and where they found a publisher, if they like published themselves or did they end up accidentally spending hundreds of dollars on bubble wrap. There have been some pretty funny episodes where you get to learn from it. So that's really great.
We're doing it next month.
Okay.
We're doing it next month. So
okay. Awesome sauce. And then other things that I volunteer for, there's Women in Games International, or otherwise known as WIGI. They do a great job of like promoting females in the video game industry and also the board game industry. So that's a good one. And I will be in Chicago next month helping out with the Young Inventor Challenge, which is a part of People Play, which used to be Chicago Toy and Game Fair. That's hosted by Mary Cousins. So if you have kids that are interested in designing games, I highly recommend going online and just like Google Young Inventor Challenge, read the rules, create a game as the child, not the parent for the child. The kid actually has to make the game. And then just like submit it because they have a chance of getting a game published by like one of the bigger companies. So last year, the one that won is like Chicken Poo Bingo. So it's literally just like a little chicken goes around and poops. And then that's like the bingo thing. And like this kid from the South came up with it. And I think that's adorable. So very much highly recommend if you're a parent out there and you have kids that are interested in design, like check it out. And then also there's a tabletop mentorship program. So if you're someone who wants to mentor people, do it that way. If you're someone who's like looking to get in the industry, whether it's being a designer, a media person, or just like, I don't know, interested in knowing what the heck it is that we do, just like sign up, check the boxes of the things you're interested in and get partnered with someone great. So nice. I mentor for that. I think that's it.
I think you're missing one that I know of.
You must have.
I don't know. I don't know. I do a lot of things.
You do. You do. Yeah. The one I'm thinking of is Tabletop Gamers.
Oh, God, you're right. I'm an idiot. Literally going to be at PAX Unplugged spreading the gay agenda for tabletop gamers. So thank you. Yes. So there you go. Basically all about inclusion, all about adding more faces, young and old, and all the things. So yeah, that's me.
You do a lot of good things. I say things. I don't mean things. Good. They're good things. They're spreading the word. They're getting tabletop gaming out there. And anyone that does that, in my eyes, is a stellar human. So thank you for doing everything that you do. Mm-hmm. All the things you do.
Thanks for reminding me. I'm forgetting one of my credits.
I'm sure, like I said, I know there was one because at QsCon, you were on the panel talking to the students. And then on one of our evening panels, talking about all the things that you contribute to and with, and it's quite a list.
Yeah, honestly, it's really nice being like a queer female designer because it's like I'm a minority technically, even though sometimes I'm like this shouldn't be a minority, but it is. So it's nice like representing.
Yeah,
very inspiring.
Use that voice.
Yeah, I talk too much. You know that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good.
Oh, here you go. We have a question.
The full name of, Young Adventure, or oh my God, Inventor. I was reading Adventure down there. Young Inventor Challenge. It's with People of Play or Chicago Toy and Game Fair. So the website used to be called ShyTag/YIC. I don't know since they've changed the name to People Play if that's still the same website, but if you just Google Young Inventor Challenge, you can find it. Yeah. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Like they've had winners in the past end up getting like internships to work on Survivor, creating like the different random like games that these people play on the islands. I know. Or they got like an internship with Spin Master. Just like if I had known that being a game designer was an option as a child, like this is the best way to do that if your kids are interested in it. And I believe it's from either ages 6 to 18 or 8 to 18. So check it out. Should have that memorized, but I don't.
That's pretty neat.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. So we said we would go into the Halloween games first because that's what we advertise. Our theme is the top 5 games for Halloween. So we're going to do that. and then we'll get over to the co-design versus solo design, which leads us into HerStory. So for those that are taking notes, with Halloween coming up, our focus was not necessarily Halloween themed games. They don't need to have a pumpkin. They don't need to have a ghost. At least this is how I took it. Just games that kind of would be fun to play around the holiday. How did you guys look at this one?
I looked at it basically the same way. Yeah. Kind of invoke like the spooky vibe or like costumes, you know, like, or groups of people.
Yeah, I went with something that would give you the feel of Halloween, not necessarily like the actual components per se or anything like that, but yeah, something that had a spooky feel or that had a theme that kind of fit.
Yeah, and I intentionally did not Google like Halloween games because I wanted to see what I came up with. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no cheating. All right, so why don't we let me get the banner. Hold on. There it is. And mine are not ranked. I know it's going to be number 5 to number 1, but mine are never ranked. They're just games, and I'll adjust once, you know, Katia steals one of mine, or I steal one of hers, or Danielle steals one of mine, which is bound to happen. But Danielle, why don't you start with your number, whatever you want to put at number 5?
Okay, so for my number 5, I did Mysterium because it's like all about the spooky detector investigators. Yeah, and it's just like a good group activity. And, you know, I mean, it's about murder, so, but it's a party game about murder. Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I thought it felt right.
Yep, you already took one of mine. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I mean, there's another Mysterium game, so just like use the other one.
Yeah, there's another Mysterium. No, I wouldn't do that. Fun fact about Mysterium. Let's see if you know. What is the playtime on the box for Mysterium?
My guess is it's probably like 30 minutes, which is a lie because I feel like they always go lower than higher.
I'll give you a hint. It's on the screen right now.
5 minutes?
No. Bigger number.
Oh. I was like, what? 42? Isn't there a banner?
It's 42. It's 42 minutes long.
Why?
I don't know.
Rounds are 7 minutes.
Okay. So
right, you play X amount of rounds, it's 7 minutes per round, so it's 42 minutes. I don't know. It's one of those things that's stuck in my head. So
see, I personally like when publishers put per player, so it's like 15 minutes per player, because I like that so much more. Like I always say with HerStory, it's about 10 to 15 minutes per player, which comes to 30 to 60 minutes. So we didn't lie on the box. We probably overestimated, but we're going off the first time.
Yeah, sure.
But
that makes sense.
I like that better. But interesting. Yeah. All right, 42.
There you go. All right, so Mysterium. Katia, was Mysterium on your list?
It was not, because I've fun fact, never played Mysterium.
There you go.
There you go.
I feel like I'm missing out, but someday I probably will.
All right, why don't we go around that way?
All right. I put Skull on my top
that's
5.
Such a good game, but I didn't think about it.
It's one of my favorite
bigger
group
like,
games.
Wait, where there? Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Literally above me.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, for those that don't know how to play, everybody has a stack of coasters. You got flowers on them, and then one of them has a skull, and you're trying to go around the table and flip as many flowers as you can without hitting a skull. And it's
such a good bluffing game.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best bluffing games in my opinion. And there's more strategy to it than people think when they first play it. It takes like a few plays, and then you're like, oh, I see now, like what you can do with this. Yeah, so it's
the other thing is you always have to flip your own coasters first, because one of my favorite things to do is to like go real high on the number, just get it, like begging for someone to go, but then they'll call my bluff and everyone will tap out, and then like frack, and I have to reveal all my stuff. So good.
Always got to start with yours, no matter how many are on your stack. It's
it's a great one. So I had to make my top 5.
Excellent pick. All right, my number 5. I'm going to go with Fury of Dracula.
Ooh, nice. I haven't actually played it, but yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the one versus all. I love the hidden movement. There are other games that do it as well. But I think when you think of Halloween games, I think of those spooky kind of universal monster kind of things. And I think Fury of Dracula does the hidden movement really well. And it feels different. Just like I talk about Mr. Jack often. It feels completely different when you're playing Dracula and when you're playing to try and catch Dracula. So that game, although it's a little lengthy as a game, it feels different. So if somebody's Dracula and they go over to the investigator part and someone becomes Dracula, the game feels different for that player. And I think it's a pretty solid Halloween themed game, right? You do the candles, you do the lighting, whatever you want to do to make the room a little bit spooky.
Yeah.
And then try and catch Dracula, or try not to get caught if you are Dracula.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be 5. We'll move around to our number 4. And if you're in the comments and you want to, if we're wrong, Skull and Roses is yep.
Yes, that was the old version. Yep.
If there's something you want to contribute, something you want to throw in that we forget, or you're like, no, that's not a Halloween game, let us know. Danielle, your number 4.
So my number 4 is actually a game that I literally just played this past weekend, and it's called Nemesis. It is kind of like Aliens, except more. And we played this game for, though, it was like a little over 4 hours, and started this at 11:30 at night on Saturday night. But it was still super duper fun. The premise is you've woken up on a ship, you're with like your other people. Everyone has like 2 kind of agenda cards, and eventually it's going to go down to like 1 card. And so like you have to hit that objective, as well as potentially get home to Earth. Like, you don't know. Some people you don't even need to, like, just blowing up the ship is your objective. Some people it's like analyzing an egg and then making it out alive, just like getting to an escape pod, or it might be like killing another player. And so it's kind of fun because you're like going around the ship, revealing things, and then like hoping not to make too much noise, because that's when like the crazy like predator alien creatures start appearing. And so that was a lot of fun. We were getting very slap happy as the night went on. And they all decided that I was definitely worth dying, because if someone dies, then you have access to the escape pods earlier in the game. And so they voted me off the island, essentially. And so just started to tag team, try to murder me. And I ended up getting like impregnated by alien babies. And I got shoved into a room with 2 of the potential baby daddies. So like we just came up with our own story, and it was really fun, but super creepy. And yeah, Nemesis, that was a thing, and it made it a good time because of just the random dialogue we came up with while playing the game, and the random stories. Like it was an episode of More, except alien version for my character, at least. I died. I did die.
But you lived on through your alien babies, I'm sure.
What?
You lived on through your alien babies?
No, I got rid of them first.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
Yes. We thought it was going to be triplets, turned out to be twins.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but Nemesis does not have a narrative, right? Like Nemesis is a dungeon crawler with actions that you take, and you're creating that narrative in that game?
We're creating the narrative in there. Yeah, because it's just like you get infected or whatever, or you don't, because it has like the red reveal thing. And so like you get an infection, which is kind of clogging your hand almost, but then you use the revealer, because if you leave and make it back to Earth and then reveal that you're actually infected with an alien, you would lose. So it's like, I had to get them out of me. But of course, as soon as I got them out of me, this mean other player decided to use his like special power to push me into a room with 2 aliens and then close the door behind me.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
I've heard of that happening. When I played, I actually kept losing limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
annoying.
It was getting pretty, I couldn't hold anything anymore.
And I kept getting slimed.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it is a ridiculous game, but we I think it's the longest game I've ever played of it. It's supposed to only play in like 90 minutes, but it took us 4 hours because everyone was so stubborn and wanted to stay in the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it was still a lot of fun, and it was definitely like spooky, creepy vibes. Like I would not enjoy being on that ship. So felt Halloween-esque.
That works. Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Cool.
My number 4 is Witchstone.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, so you're basically playing as witches and you're expanding and find places on this map that looks like a globe, really. And then you have your potion, like your cauldron, and that is where you're placing your tiles and making your actions happen. And when you connect icons, it gives you that action multiple times. So it's a nice, like, puzzly thing to do to try and maximize your turns. And then at the same time, you get all kinds of bonuses and things you can do in the game. But yeah, you're basically witches, and the components are really cute. You got these little witches, these little owls, and it's really good. We played it at QSCon actually, and everybody who played it loved it. So that was great.
It's R&R Games.
Yes. Yep.
Good one. Good pick. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
A couple of us are definitely sweating right now, but
that's why I'm not wearing the hood, because I would be very hot right now.
Nice. It's nice. It's a good feel. Alan, your picture that you posted in your QSCon shirt was you playing Witchstone, which, by the way, thank you for the QSCon love. I appreciate it. Miss you, buddy. All right, my number 4. I don't know what to go with. I have a feeling this one's on somebody's list.
Oh, but you can't go by that. You got to go in order.
No, mine are. I already said
not to go in order, which is going to mess up our order.
Right?
Not in order. I don't do order. I have.
You should just fill in the gaps. We don't care about your. I'm just kidding.
No. All right, I'm gonna go with Ghost Stories.
Ooh.
Oh, no,
I've never played it.
All right.
Same.
It's super difficult. I don't think I've ever won the game. There's a 3x3 grid in the center, and around the north, south, east, west are boards where spirits come, and you need to satisfy with dice and chips what it's going to take to defeat them, and you're protecting the town. And each of the 9 tiles in the center all have an ability, right? You can push a ghost back, or you can do something twice or whatever. But if they move too far, then they're going to start taking out parts of the village. It's phenomenal. It's super, super difficult and a blast to play. I don't know if I might have talked about it on another episode. They rethemed it. I think it's called Last Bastion.
Oh, yes.
It's the same concept, the 3x3 grid and the things coming in from the outside. I haven't played that one yet, but it's one of my favorite games. It's just super difficult. And when I think of Halloween themed games, Ghost Stories is going to pop right up there. So
cool.
If you haven't looked into it, look into it. It's a fun one. It's challenging, super challenging. It's co-op.
Well, clearly,
co-op. Huh?
I was like, clearly, if you haven't won.
Yeah, super challenging. It can take a while because you're trying to figure out like the best strategy based on what you have and the game state. And all right, if we let this one go, we have to do this one. But if that goes, like, you're screwed from the get-go. Like immediately you're like, yeah, we're fucked. It's going to happen. But the game, it's fun. It's like solo play in Sagrada. I've played that thing. I can't even count how many times. I've never beaten it, but it's fun to play. This one is the same thing. It's a hell of a challenge, but the game is fun. So
cool.
Yeah, look into Ghost Stories. All right, we will go to number 3, Danielle.
All right, my number 3 is Nyctophobia, but the copy that I have is the second one where it's like a vampire instead of like a serial killer. But basically the premise of it is like a bunch of teenagers whose car broke down in the middle of the woods and it's dark and you're like stumbling around, not able to see. And so what's cool is they have glasses that block out your vision. So you, as the players, cannot see. The only player that can see is the one that's playing as either like the axe wielding murderer or the vampire. And so they'll like help you. But basically these pieces like have different shapes so you can like hold and touch it. And the designer created it because their uncle was blind and they wanted a game that was accessible. So like it invokes that like terrifying, I can't see what's happening feeling. And then also is an accessible game. So I'm like, this is great. So it's on my list.
Very cool.
She was at QCon 2019. It was a great story. how she designed, like her motivation to design that game because of her uncle. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, and that's Pandasaurus Games. I think it's out of print though, but yeah, I have a copy and it's somewhere above me.
Yeah, I think the one, you can still get the one. I think I saw it at Jason's store recently. I don't know if it was the vampire or the one with the axe, but I think one.
Yeah, I have the vampire one.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, so
such a great game, because the person that's playing the killer, you are kind of helping, right? Like,
yeah. So what's happening on your turn when you're the one who can't see is like the killer is going to help you by putting your hand on your pawn, and then your pawn can like move a specific amount of spaces, so you can kind of like touch around, because the board is essentially these like walls built of trees, and so it's like a little maze you're getting around, and your objectives are like to like find your friends, find the car, and like whatever, fix it or whatever it is. And then different people have different abilities, like throwing a stone to make noise. So like the vampire or whatever goes a specific way. And so like they have specific rules. So clearly if you're a cheater, don't put them as the vampire, like put the one you trust as the vampire to help you out. But it's just a really unique experience. Like I've never played a game like that before.
Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah, I would like to try it.
Good pick.
Yep.
All right, Katia, number 3.
My number 3 is I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with the Night Cage.
Ooh.
Did I steal it?
That was my number 1.
Oh no! Okay, well, we can share. Yeah, for those who don't know, the game is you're basically in this maze, and you wake up and all you have is like this candle, and you're trying to get out of the maze. And when you move in the maze, so the only tiles that are visible are the ones around you and your candle. And then as you take a move, whatever you leave behind gets flipped back to darkness. And when I forget when it is, but there's like times where you will have to like reveal if monsters shows up, those wax eaters or whatever, and then they come and like ravage your entire row or column. It's it's so thematic. I've played it with candles and like lights off, basically.
The like more premium version came with candles, like little
it just fits. Like you just feel like you're in this maze by yourself. Yeah, it's really good. Hard to beat, but yeah, good.
I know. Okay, and to add to that, so when you're going around, you're trying to collect keys, like you and your friends, to get out of the place. So it's really interesting because you'll find a key, but you can only hold one key because the premise is like you're naked. You got one hand for a candle, one hand for a key. And so if you're holding, for some reason, your hand can only hold one key. But yeah, so you got the one key. So if you find one and your friend needs it, it's like you just straight up can't leave. But if you stay in the same spot, that's when the monsters start appearing. Or some of the like walkways will actually turn into holes that you'll fall into, like ditches and things. So it's definitely spooky vibes for sure. And it's really easy, accessible game, like entry level.
Yeah, and the artwork that they chose for the game has that spooky feel. Like it's all black and white, and like
so that's one of the designers' artwork. Yeah, Chris Chan. So he was on my podcast and he talks all about it, and it's really great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn you for taking my number 1. Sorry.
That's a good one.
It's okay.
Somebody is probably gonna steal my number 1, so
fine. I hope it's me.
I'd be okay with that.
All right, my number 3. I'm pretty confident in this one, I think. Yeah, I'll go with it. I'm going to go with, and as a caveat, I've always said that Asking for Troubles, Batman, Arkham Horror are usually off my lists, just because of the meaning behind them, right? Obviously, Chris with Troubles, that's how this all started, was with QsCon and meeting Chris, and then Batman obviously is a thing. Arkham's always going to have a special place because that's my intro into modern board game, is playing Arkham 2nd edition and then meeting Richard and then having Batman with Richard. So that's always, usually Arkham would fit into this thing perfectly, but I'm going to skirt it.
I still love that instead of Catan, it was Arkham Horror.
Yeah, Arkham Horror.
Okay.
I'll talk about it on your podcast.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's bonkers, but it's fun. Like I thought I was going to get sacrificed the first time. Like I'll go into it.
All right.
Instead of Arkham, I'm going to go with Mansions of Madness.
I've never played it.
I have not played the new edition, so I haven't played it as a full co-op. I only played it with someone running the mansion, and it was my neighbors who introduced me to Arkham. One of the coolest memories in board games I've had, to the effect that I still tell the story of my first time playing the game. It's someone's running the house, someone's seeding the house, and it's Cthulhu lore. So there's the Shuggets and the Night Counts and everything. And you have to try and figure out, like, you have to survive, basically. And there are these NPCs that you come across in the game that, like, warn you about stuff in the mansion that you don't want to do. And the first time I played, when we started the game, there was someone running, I think they were naked, out of the mansion, out the front door, warning us not to go into the cooler.
Very
What did
specific.
Mike do? Mike went right to the cooler.
Yeah, it's where the Kool-Aid man is.
Well, I mean, he's telling me not to go in the cooler. I'm going in the cooler. Like that. Okay, that's a hint. I'm going there. Nope, shouldn't have went in the cooler. The lights went out. Couldn't turn the lights back on. A fire started. Couldn't put the fire. Like, all my rolls were shit, so I couldn't do anything. Then something came out of the freezer, and then all of a sudden there were like 3 monsters in the cooler. The whole game I spent in the cooler. Couldn't turn the light on. Couldn't turn the stop the fire. I don't know if I died. I don't think I died. But then, like, my neighbor and his wife were like running the house and doing the thing and having a blast. And here's Mike's turn. Nope, rolled like shit, failed everything, couldn't do it. It was such an awesome, because there's a little bit of narrative in mansions, right? There's some cards that have flavor text and things are happening in the house, and it tells you about this kind of story and drives a narrative. But we created our own narrative of me being stuck in the cooler the whole time, and it's one of the coolest.
That makes better memories. Yeah,
it was pretty freaking awesome. But mansions as a whole, like, I know it's fully co-op now, and it's got the app that you can run, so you don't need somebody to seed the house, because if there's one thing wrong with the house, the whole game is trash. But yeah, what's better on Halloween than a spooky mansion, right, with awful creatures trying to kill you?
Yep.
So, my number 3 is Mansions of Madness.
Very nice.
I think so. All right, we'll go to number 2.
Steven had a funny comment for you. Said the first time in a game, Michael was warned to chill.
Yeah. It doesn't happen often, man. I'll tell you that.
That's funny. All right.
All right, Danielle, number 2.
I think I'm going to move my number 2 to my number 1 slot, and then I'm just going to put in one of my backups as this new number 2, since you stole mine. Tower of Madness. So that one's a smirk and dagger. Yeah. And so for any of you that grew up on Kerplunk and got to like pull the little things out.
Oh, that's the one with the like.
It's like Cthulhu. Yeah. It's like the Cthulhu hand tentacle things just like coming out that look like they glow in the dark. And yeah, so it's like the idea of it is just like you're these kind of investigators like trying to stop Cthulhu or whatever, but like you might become mad if the certain color marble shows up and like rolls down, or the world might end if like 3 of whatever color, I want to say it's green, I don't remember, I think it was like a cat's eye marble. But yeah, so like these marbles will come down when you pull, and it's like this weird thing of where like as a child in Kerplunk, you want the marbles to come down. Like that's exciting. But in this game, it's the opposite. You're like, please let no marbles fall down.
And you're not able to see the marbles in this one,
right? No, because it's like just it's a tower that you have these little tentacles. So it's like you just like wait for it to fall down and like come out, and then you read it and see what it is. So it's like sometimes it's like magic. Sometimes it's things that'll help you. Sometimes it's things that's going to cause you to go mad, because as soon as you go mad, your role switches to you wanting the world to end, because now you're like one of the disciples of Cthulhu or whatever. But it's just like, it's a cool gimmick. I remember seeing it at Gen Con and I was just like, oh, that's cool. And then I bought it just based off of, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Flunk vibes.
It has a nice table presence, even if it's not like one of those like table hoarder, like it's a small game, but it still has like a eye-catching effect.
So it's very dark and spooky.
They have a giant version of it too.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I tried to get Kurt to bring it to QSCon. I saw a post of it. I think it was Dragon Con or one of the Connecticut conventions. Someone had posted. I think it was Connecticut.
Oh yeah, I always forget he's like on the East Coast.
Yeah, he's not far.
It's funny that we've listed 2 of his games tonight.
Yeah, Night Cage and that. Yep.
Hip popular.
Fair.
Smoke and Dagger. Your Christmas, your Halloween publisher.
Yeah, right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Katia, number 2.
Number 2. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm not gonna explain it too much because we've talked about it before. But I gotta go with Bloody Inn. Like it's a spooky theme. You're killing people in this hotel and trying to find places to bury them, whether it's under your plot or somebody else's plot. Yeah. And you're trying to not get caught with bodies that are laying there. So
all right. Yeah, that feels right.
It's spooky. To me, that's a perfect Halloween game.
Yep.
So yeah.
That was on my list.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's a good one. Yeah, we've talked about it before. It's pretty spot on for Halloween for sure.
Yeah, like the theme is so unique. It's not about monsters. It's just about regular people and
and dead bodies,
murders. So
murder. Just do like the really cute guys.
Good pick. All right, pivot. All right, I'm gonna go with Betrayal on House on the Hill.
That's one I considered, but decided one of you would say it. So
yeah,
I've never played that either. I feel like all of the spooky like classics.
But have you played the Scooby-Doo version? That's the one I own because it was the only one I knew I could get people to play.
Which is even better for Halloween theme if you think about it.
True.
Yeah, True. I thought you'd get that one, Brett.
Friends.
Yeah, so Betrayal has it's co-op until it's not, right? Everyone's playing the same thing and everyone's doing the same thing and you're exploring this house, right? Mansions of Madness. You're exploring this house. And then every time you roll number of omens that come up on your dice, if they match the number of omens that are up on the cards that have been revealed, this betrayal happens. And depending on who caused it and what room, like how it all happens, someone at the table then has to take a book and go off and read this book. And it tells you like what you are, who you are, and how to win the game. Usually it's by killing everyone else at the table. And then everyone else who is not the betrayer needs to figure out what exactly is going on in the house and try to survive. Sometimes the house lights on fire. Sometimes there's a creepy doll coming after you. You don't know. And I think that's kind of the charm of the game, right? That there's this moment where you're like, ah, shit, I got to go do this thing now. And then your game changes, right? It turns from a co-op exploration to a survival. And it's super fun. And if you saw what Bay did at QSCon in the room at the top.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, like just decked it out with the ambiance and the netting and like really made a thing of it. And yeah, it's a great Halloween themed game, especially if you can get the Scooby-Doo one, because Scooby-Doo and Halloween just...
I feel like the one thing that Scooby-Doo does well for like the more entry-level gamer, not to say Betrayal is definitely, if you have someone who's a gamer explaining it, totally good. But with Scooby-Doo, you can choose who the betrayer is when it happens. So that way you can give the more experienced person the role of reading the rule book. And because like, if you're someone who doesn't play games, handing it to them and be like, okay, find it. And hopefully they don't mess it up.
Which you can do in regular Betrayal, right?
Yeah, like you can. It's pretty good. Yeah. But occasionally I've definitely had confusions where they're like, Danielle, can I ask you these things? I'm like, well, that kind of spoils a little of it for me, but yeah. Right.
But if you're the experienced gamer at the table and like Katia and I are new to the game and a betrayal happens, you can just take the book and do it. It's more thematic because you don't know who's going to be it. If you start the game with, I'm going to be the betrayer no matter what happens, it kind of takes a little bit away from it. But
yeah.
You can change that up for sure.
Still fun.
Yeah.
Good game.
All right. Number 2 was Betrayal. And we'll go to our pseudo number 1.
So my pseudo number 1 is Horrified.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, Universal, you got the like different monsters and stuff. The monster The reason I like that is because it's like a co-op game with like a bunch of little mini games inside of it, depending on like which monsters you chose for the game, whether it's like finding Frankenstein's bride, and like having them fall in love, or if it's like the mummy and like building kind of like the little scarab thing, like moving around, or the Loch Ness monster. Just like, I don't know. I thought it was a really cool premise. I want to play the new like American one where it's like El Chupacabra or Bigfoot or whatever version of the big tall hairy dude. But apparently those puzzles are a little bit more or more difficult. But yeah, so I want to try that out. I like it though. It's really good entry level co-op game that like isn't a slap on IP. Like it felt like they put in the work to make it a good game, which big fan. That was Ravensburger. Yeah. So they did good. They did good. Them and Funko have been killing on the IP stuff.
Yeah, they do. When you have 1,600 licenses, it's pretty easy to get some rockin' IPs out there, I guess, right?
Fair.
Yeah, it's a good one. The North American version, fun fact, the artist for the North American version did the art for Mission Control for 3WS.
Huh. Cool.
Good stuff. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, that's true. The difficulty does scale. You can choose the monsters that are easier or more difficult.
This sucks.
That's
yeah. See, yeah, that's the one problem with that game.
Yep. All right, number 1, Katia.
My number 1 is very much on Halloween theme. It's Final Girl.
Oh wow!
I just saw people are getting their season 2, and it's so exciting. The box is massive, and yeah, I mean, if you like horror, you have to try Final Girl. It's so awesome. It's so thematic. You really feel like, I mean, for those who don't know, it's a solo game, but you could easily just sit down with 2 people and play it together if you really wanted to and make the decisions together. But yeah, ultimately you're trying to kill the killer and you're playing as a final girl, and you have actions you could take, and you're moving and you're trying to rescue victims, because when you rescue victims, it gives you bonuses and stuff like that. And you're just trying to make it till the end so that you can kill the killer. So yeah, that is my number 1.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
Do you want my backup?
Yeah,
No,
I have some backups.
I got backups. All right. That's a good one. I mean, when you think of Halloween, right, and you think of, like, I think I watched Nightmare Before Christmas yesterday and today, and you think of those kind of like movies, right? Like any kind of horror movie fits into almost any time, but man, around Halloween, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. I still gotta watch the new Hocus Pocus movie. People are telling me.
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch the first one so that I can watch the second one, because I completely forgot what the first one's about.
I mean, I definitely remember. I feel like that's the one that's like so hyped and people are obsessed with, but I'm just kind of like, eh. So I haven't been like super motivated to watch the new one, but I need to watch it because people talk about it. There's too many things to do, not enough time.
That's how I felt about Beetlejuice. I was like, eh.
I do want to see the musical though. I've been digging the soundtrack.
So that's
also,
the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing with that movie, is I find that the 2 catchy songs obviously are super fun and very iconic of the movie, but the rest of the movie itself, I mean, Beetlejuice is oh so creepy. So in every sense of the word. You could tell it's an old movie because some of the stuff that happens in that movie would not fly today, I don't think. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it didn't do it for me. So
it's fair.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one said what.
My mug next week is Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. See, I'm surprised that no one went with like, I don't know, like Jaws or just like any of the like horror movie now board games. I don't know. There's like a handful of them now.
Yeah, there's a few. It's not on my. I didn't go with any of those. I don't think of Jaws as a Halloween game, right? It's definitely a horror movie. I don't know if it's horror, but
fair.
It's got those elements for sure. No, not Abomination. That's a good one too.
So that was going to be like, for me, like real quick, that was going to be just like an honorable mention. I haven't played it, but definitely like if you're looking for a Halloween thematic game, that would be one of them.
Yeah, there's been a few games that I thought of, but I was like, I haven't technically played it. I've just either read the rule book or watched it, or it's on my shelf of shame. So I stuck with everything I've actually played.
Right.
Cool.
So what's your new number one, Michael?
I've talked about it on the show, and I feel it's lightweight, it's entry level, it's cooperative, but I don't know. It's Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's super fun. It's very luck based, and I know it's roll and move, but it's got a little bit more to it when you're rolling.
Who cares?
Anything but a 6, you're populating the house with some sort of ghost. And pandemic style, if there's 3 and something, or if it gets to 3, not pandemic style, if it gets to 3, it becomes haunted, and too many haunts, you lose. But what makes it fun is, to me, bringing the gems out in order, right? So there's 8 gems, you got to bring them out in order, so you can't get gem number 3 out until number 1 and number 2 have come out. So it just adds a little bit of a challenge, but it's Brian, you did it. I think the art's great. I think the design is fun.
The little ghost that you could put on your fingers.
Yeah.
Like the bugle chips.
Yes. Yes.
I really think the only misstep was that those ghosts aren't glow in the dark, which you can fix. But I think it's, when you think about being around for Halloween, if you're with your family or you're with people at a Halloween party and they're looking to play something, it's not a hard game to get out and teach. You're playing it really quickly. So I'll go. I had Gloom and I had Patchwork Halloween. I thought Patchwork Halloween is a little bit of a because it's Halloween themed, but it's Patchwork.
Yeah, Gloom was one of my backups too.
Gloom is great because of the negative story you have to tell about, like, everyone else is super happy and you make everyone so, friendly and popular, and you're just awful. And I think the art to it, and it's got
transparent cards are cool too.
Yeah, they're really fun. But I think I'd have, if not Final Girl, then Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters gotta be mentioned for sure.
Yeah, some of my other 2 honorable mentions or suggestions, I guess, for people, and they fall in the lighter category. There's Similo Monsters. Similo is such a fun game to play. It's super easy to teach. You're trying to narrow down to like one card, which is the one that the person that
I have Spookies. Yeah. That's the one I have too.
The art is great, and it's just it's super fun. Those games are super fun. And the other one is Campy Creatures. It's another super light game. Everybody has the same set of cards, and you're basically trying to play so that your card will not get canceled by somebody else's card depending on what they played. So like all the cards have interactions amongst themselves. So you're trying to kind of time when you're going to play what, because you don't want it to get nullified by somebody else. And then I think you're just basically accumulating stuff. And it's been like a few years since I played it. It was pre-COVID. But I remember really liking it. And the artwork is super cute on it. And it's kind of got like that Halloween spooky feel. So
cool.
Yeah.
We did mention Mysterium.
Yes. My number 5.
Yeah, John mentions Tiny Epic Zombies. I have a copy and I have yet to play it, so I don't even know.
So that game inspired one of my prototypes because of the like little meeple police car and motorcycle that you put the little meeple inside of, and it like drives around. It inspired my like taxi game.
Oh, nice.
Fun.
Yeah, it was like the only time a component has inspired a game design, and it was because of that game.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's another good one, Brett.
Yeah. Hey, Corey.
Yeah. Hey, Corey.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Halloween themed games out there.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah,
there are a lot. But hopefully, there are a few that we talked about that might have not been on people's radar, and now it is. So go check them out.
Yeah.
Also, just check out the whole line of Smirk and Dagger because they're pretty rock solid with their games.
Yeah. This is true.
All right. So, why did that just go away? That was weird. I hope I don't. Me and the internet. You never know what's going to happen on this side.
I was like, what?
Yeah, my internet is trash.
In
All
the
right.
meantime.
Yeah, in the meantime. So, yeah, that was fun. We are going to play HerStory, and we're going to talk about, which I have a couple questions of, like, how it came to be and everything. But I thought a good intro to that is a certain topic that I think we can all contribute to. The idea of co-designing with somebody versus just designing the game on your own. So not necessarily designing a solo game, like a solo design, just designing as your sole designer. We all have some stokes in the fire on this one. And with HerStory coming out, I did not know Emerson was on that one. Emerson is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. What is your take on, what would you pick? We'll go the other way. So Katia, we'll start with you. What would you pick if you had the opportunity to just rock a design by yourself or rock a design with a co-designer? What would you lean towards? Because they both have benefits and hiccups along the way, but what would you favor and why, I guess?
So I think for me, the biggest thing for co-designs in this point in time that I find challenging is finding time to coordinate meetings and sitting down together and working on the game. So for that reason, I lean towards solo design because I can kind of work at it on my own pace. I don't have somebody to try and arrange anything with. But there's definitely a lot of pros doing it the other way as well. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, and then we can talk about it more. But I will let you two weigh in on your preference.
Seems like a cop out, but
yeah, I was gonna say. So your answer was solo. Was that what I heard?
Yeah, my answer is
leaning is that direction.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards solo design, but I'll go more into it because obviously we'll have that discussion. But I'm curious as to what you guys' preferences.
Gotcha.
All right, Danielle, what do you think?
So that's hard because
I only asked the hard question.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have I could probably argue my way into either one if I kept talking enough. But I guess I would say that I also would probably lean slightly more towards solo just for kind of some of those reasons. But yeah, we'll talk about it more. But I would say my leaning is probably a little more on the solo side, but I do really enjoy both. And I would never solo design if I don't have a developer. So that would be like a no-go for me because I found that out and it's not great. Designing and developing your own game, not a good idea. You should always have multiple minds on it.
Right.
So that sounds like co-op.
No.
No. Yeah.
Because it's you hand it over.
Yeah, you kind of hand it over. I mean, we'll talk about all this. You give your leaning and then we'll talk about this.
Okay. I like this comment. Very nice.
That would have been a good one also. Had it been out, that could have been a good Halloween one because it's got that spooky feel.
I would let you guys pick that one. I would be too biased on adding that one to my list. Funny. I am full on co-op. I would rather design with somebody over design by myself because I know, and for me, the way that I work, I know I would get stuck up on certain things, and working with the right co-designer, you're not going to work with anybody, right? You have to find that person that you mesh with that works well with what you can't do. And I think there's more benefit to working with somebody because of keeping on a schedule, not disappointing the other person, them supporting you when you're struggling with the thing, and then you supporting them when they're struggling with the thing. I think there are more benefits to working with somebody, and it's how I work in general. I would rather work with somebody through something than work by myself on something. I like the collaborative, I like the creative, so I like working with somebody else's mind while we're doing stuff. So I would lean 99% to not having to do it as a solo design.
All right. So you definitely weigh, like, we're just like more slightly on the other side. So I think you're 90% or 99 or whatever you're going to call it. Knocks
Yeah.
it out.
I mean, it's fun to bounce ideas back and forth, and
hmm
you definitely get angles, like perspectives that maybe you wouldn't have thought of if it was just you. But at the same time, it's like you can get that if you're not shy about showing your game to people.
Yeah.
Like, that's
And like
what's
your
so
play
good about the
testing and
community,
stuff.
is that people love to play test, people love to see
hmm
what you got going on, and we're not afraid to chime in onto each other's design, to be like, hey, maybe have you tried that, or blah blah blah. And it's
hmm
like, and I don't need to be like, if I do that to somebody else's game, like, I'm not going to feel like, oh, I want my name in the rule book, or I want my name on, like, it's not even
I
about
have
that.
had an instance where someone would claim co-design credit on
Oh
a
my
thing, and
God.
I was just like, all right, whatever. I just like didn't care. I was like, okay, fine. Hasn't been
Yeah.
signed yet, so like still doesn't matter. But like some people, if they think they gave a good enough idea, they're like, all right, co-designers, like I've spent years working on this. You like,
Yeah.
you help fix a problem, but okay.
But that's what playtesters will do, even with like having done a round or two with your game. They'll make a suggestion that if it ends up making it in, I mean, sure, they get their name in the playtesting, but it's like, you're not going to go as a code. Like, that's not good practice, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what it's for. Not to say that it's like, and for me, it has nothing to do with having my name by myself on the box. Like, it's not even about that. The solo design, I just find, yeah, I don't know. It's just easier to schedule. It's easier to, like, if at some point I'm working on it and I want to take it a completely different direction, I have the liberty to do so, as opposed to
You
the
don't have to
person.
talk
The other
about it.
person might tell you, well, let's wait on that, or let's
Yeah.
continue to explore this further. Where it's like, I just want to take the design and flip it on its head and see what happens. And so I just find you have a little bit more flexibility when you're by yourself.
I also feel like, at least in my experience with co-designing, most of the time it was like my idea and then it got stuck. And then I like asked someone who I knew could unstick it because like they had whatever I had missing for that design. And then they helped me. And then we moved forward. HerStory is the only co-design I've done where like the game had already been like started design work and then I came in and like unstuck a thing. So it was like the first time I ever came from the other direction. And so it was interesting though, because like normally I was used to like I came up with an idea and then this other person like helped along the way kind of thing. When I was working at Forever Stoke, like Andrea, she was the lead developer. I was the lead designer, but like she kind of had to put design hat on sometimes and mostly just like tame my crazy because I just be like, oh, this is such a good idea. And she's like, Danielle, no. I was like, oh. But it was also really nice like having someone to collaborate with. But since we were like fullish time together, it was easier. Like we didn't have to figure out scheduling as much as when you're like more of a hobbyist designer. So I feel like that also makes the difference. Because like currently at Underdog Games, I'm technically the only one working on like our family games, but also like every week we have these like meetings where one designer gets an hour to like play test whatever game they're working on. And so during that hour, that's like the game you're showing, but then everyone gives feedback similar to like play tests. But then it kind of like gives you that other person to bounce ideas off of. So it's like, I really love that. It's not like I am solo designing completely alone, like in a tunnel. It's, I have a lot of voices. And if I like say I need help balancing something, because like I am good at like guesstimating the math, but like other people on my team are just way better at that than I am. Or like when I was working on the eBay game, I hired Jonathan Gilmore because I knew like he had the brain that I didn't have to help develop it and stuff. And then like, I'm not gonna lie, they ended up changing some things after John and I looked at it, but I still just teach it with our rules.
Best way to do it.
Yeah. So when I was saying before, like if you're designing your game and developing your game, that's where I think the problem is. Cause like you don't have another set of eyes on it where I would anytime in the future, if I'm going to sign something, I want to sign that I'm not the one developing. I want to have opinions on development. Like I don't want to have the game come out and have it be completely different than what I gave them.
Right.
But I definitely don't want to spend all that extra time after already having spent years designing the game.
I have a question for you in regards to, so you mentioned that now you're their full-time designer. And I'm just curious as to, how does it feel, because you've done both now, like to be like the hobbyist designer versus like full-time designer? Like, do you find there's a lot more pressure in like coming up with something when you're staff, and like how do you deal with that? If at some point you're like, I'm drawing a blank on this thing, like I just cannot think of anything good.
So it feels very different. It's not like when you're a hobby designer, I feel like you're just like on vacation and then something you see spurs a game idea on. Very different from when you're like fully employed, where you're forced to sit down and come up with ideas. It's kind of like when you're trying to write your next novel. Like the first novel is like inspired in a moment, and then the rest is like, crap, I have to like do this because it's my job and I need a paycheck. So it is different. Thankfully, I've like in my past like few jobs, I've had to like kind of design a box almost like, hey, here's the price point. Here's the type of game we're looking for. Here's a theme. What can you come up with? And then I can like come up with like 60 ideas. And then we choose one or a few and just keep testing them and comparing them. So it's like, in some ways, it's I don't know. It's terrifying to think that someday, like, what if I can't be creative? Like, what if I do have like a lull, or I like get depressed or something and just like, I can't? That scary, the thought of it. It's not happened yet, but I mean, like in my past, I've had bad moments like in 2020 where I just like could not design because I was in such a terrible headspace. And so it's like scary to think that like if that happens, like my career is on the line versus when you're just doing it for fun with cool people. And then also when you're like designing for a company, every company has like their own contracts and stuff. Like thankfully, Underdog Games has let me continue to like pitch games on the side, like outside of work hours, of course. And like, because they understand that we make a very specific type of game. And so if I have a game that's like nowhere close to what we would ever publish, like my boss is like, yeah, that's fine. You can pitch. We don't care. So like that's been really nice. So it's like I've been able to continue to be like a hobby designer on the side of my full-time design gig. But yeah, it feels very different. Like it feels like more pressure, but it also feels like in another way you have a lot more support. Like if I need playtest components, I can expense that on the corporate card, or I can get like a really nice printer for once and like be able to like use it and stuff to prototype and iterate quicker. Like those barriers for money is less a thing. It's more like, do you need it for this game? And it's like, if I do, it's like, great, I can expense it and then we work on it. And I don't have to like worry about that stuff, which is kind of nice. And I really do. I'm like super supported. Like since I have the graphic design background, which actually a lot of us at Underdog do, but like Nick Bentley, who's one of the other co-designers for HerStory. So like he used to be a neuroscientist. Like this dude is ridiculously smart. Whoa. But I'm like really, really quick at iterating and like changing things and adjusting prototypes. And so even now when we're working on totally different projects, like I will help him out and like get his prototype done in probably a fifth of the time it would take him, versus like I need him to look at this thing and make sure it's like actually balanced, because I think it's balanced, but is it balanced? Probably not. So that's been really nice, like having a team that can fill in some of those gaps that maybe you can't really do or not as good at.
Cool.
Cool. And do you have a built-in playtest group like with Underdog? Do you have a standing group that comes in and does your stuff, or do you keep it in-house with?
So we are very lucky, and this is another thing that I love about being a part of this team, is we just send out an email and then people sign up for like time slots, so I can look at my calendar and decide exactly which games. One day I actually playtest 9 times in one day because I just like scheduled it out. People sign up for the time blocks. We do what we call split testing. So we'll take either the same game with 2 different rule sets or 2 completely different games with the same theme, play them back to back, and then ask the playtesters like what they like better, what would they want in their final product. And that's like how we get all our games to like the final beautiful versions that they are. Like the amount of iteration is freaking stupid. Like when I was working on HerStory part-time, we were playtesting it at least 13 times in the week. So yeah, we put like a lot of focus on our games. Like it's not just like, oh, that looks good, we're done, like out the door. Right. It looks pretty, let's go.
You do it all online? You meet online and playtest online?
So because I do stuff with kids too, I actually do go into like people's houses and play test with kids, or I go to a lot of like after school programs and just like kind of take those children and show them the game and play the game. And I'm not going to lie, someone tends to get punched or me hit in the face with a stuffed animal. So that's a thing. Or we'll send out like print and plays and give them like a $10 like gift card or whatever. So like it kind of pays for the ink that they used. And so the parents will like cut it up, play with their kids. They'll fill out a survey and then I'll take that information and go with it. Or I have, so we do digital, we do in person. I go to my boss's niece and nephew's house to like play test with them because they're like 4 and 6. And so just to see if like my games can scale down that low, because the idea for my games is to try to make it so like the family can play together, like younger kids and adults, and everyone have a good time and it not be like nails on a chalkboard for the parent to play this game with the kid. Yeah. So that's been a hard time, like trying to come up with games that work for all ages.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. But it's been interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'd say solo designing with support would be my choice.
Yes.
But I do enjoy co-designing if I can like have full-time co-designer with me.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I think there's, for me, knowing where I lack, where like you had said, you brought on Gilmore because of the balance thing, and he could bring in what you don't have. And I feel there, for me, in the way that I work, I feel like having that support there is beneficial than not. So
I guess to ask both of you, when you are like the co-designer, like what do you look for? Like what's the gap you're trying to get filled with your co-designer? Or what do you put to the table? I don't know which direction is easier for you to describe.
For me, I would say the thing that I try and focus on is it, and I even apply that to this, like the stuff I do by myself, is it fun? Like when it's ready to play test or to have it being tried out, it's like, is it fun? Or did I get into my head too much? Or am I missing something that fun factor? So there's, like I have a game in the works that I find is perhaps missing that fun factor. So that's something that's like right now it's tabled for a while, but and I have like one that I'm working on by myself that is kind of that, like I have to find a balance where it's like it's between like it's fun or is it becoming too much work? Like so I think between that and probably trying to find something that makes the game unique would be like the two things that I try and bring to the table.
Okay.
Just trying to make sure that it's like, is it something that I feel like we've played before or that is already out there? Like I don't want to make a game that feels like, oh yeah, people have already played this, so it's just going to be a different coat of paint on something else. So I would say that's what I try and bring.
Did you not want to talk about our design? You mentioned one being shelved and working by yourself, but you bypass the fact that we're working.
You can say where we're at in ours because I mean it's been announced that we're working on something, but
I want someone that's creative. I know a lot of people will look for what they're missing. Like I am not a math person. Math and I haven't gotten along since the 5th grade. So if the game has a balance thing or involves some sort of math issue, I would want someone who can wrap their head around that math problem. But ideally, I just want someone who's creative, someone who can think about how end game scoring is going to work, or how turn order is going to work, or what's going to be fun in the game. And for me, if I have it a certain way, I might not think of another way to do it because this functions. This works for me, right? I know how it plays. I can teach it. It works. We flip a card, you do a thing, great. But then having someone else going, yeah, but what if? And like to Katia's point before, like turn it on its head. I would never think of that. So I like working with someone who's honest, who's like, no, this is like when I was working with Richard, I'd be like, Richard, what about this? This is a great idea. No, Mike, that's not going to work because of X, Y, and Z. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Good
so
for you.
Funny.
But yeah, I feel like I can, with my background in English and literacy, I enjoy the creative. I love that you can be in a classroom with 33 different minds and have 33 different ways of reading like the same paragraph of a story. So I love when people's heads go in different directions.
Yeah.
So I always look for someone that would bring the creative, even though it would be two creatives working. We're all creative as a person, right? Doing this thing. So it depends on the game, and I know where I lack. I know where my mind blocks off stuff, right? Where I suffer. So someone that can complement that is obviously ideal. And
I definitely enjoy, like, you know, when we say earlier, like we're talking about our preferences, but the one thing that I didn't mention with the co-design is the learning that you get from working with somebody. Like,
yeah, I became a much better designer the more I started doing co-design and working with other developers. Like when I was solo designing back at my like original job at GPI, it's just like I was doing things based off my own knowledge or what I picked up from like playtesting with other designers. Very different from when you're like working with someone who's experienced that have like had games out there. Like I became
because
so much better.
You learn some of the stuff that is like an immediate, it's almost like some people have like this checklist of like, as soon as you start working on something and it's like playable, it's like, okay, is it too fiddly, or how quickly does the game start, or are you spending too many turns like accumulating resources and you're not able to do anything? And it's like, when like getting the fun to begin faster, or like is the game too long in general, like how many rounds are there, like stuff like that I feel like, yeah, like when you start working with people, you pick up on those things that you should address very quickly, as opposed to spending so much time on the game and trying to make it all like, you know, finished, and then to have somebody come in and tell you like, yeah, but you should cut that out. You should cut that out. And then it's like, oh yeah, because it was fiddly. It was this, and it was, you know, so it's like, yeah, there's definitely things that you learn with working with other people that are extremely valuable. Yeah.
I definitely have like picked up better habits from other people sometimes, or just like how they put together like spreadsheets or whatever. There's just like little tricks. Yeah,
I keep hearing of spreadsheets, and I don't use spreadsheets yet. So I'm curious to reaching that point where I need spreadsheets for like balance. I'm assuming it's to balance like the math aspect that you were talking about earlier, probably. Like when you start having the different cards with different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because HerStory is an engine building game, so like balance the crap out of that guy.
But I haven't had
points
to have
and powers
that yet,
and symbols, and there's a lot of spreadsheets going on there.
Gotcha. I made a game with Ian Moss, who's worked with John Gilmore on numerous things. And I remember we were talking about the game and how it was going to function and what was going to happen. And we both loved the theme, the IP that it was built on. And then he's like, all right, so I made this thing for the cards, and he sent me over this thing, and I didn't know what I was looking at. I'm like, what is this? What am I even? There's numbers and drop downs. And if you do something over here, it like automatically ripples through stuff. And I was so lost. I had no clue what was going on. And that kind of thing really helped making sure the icons and the numbers on the cards were balanced. And that was awesome, because I could never create something like that at all. I could, but it would be a disaster.
I've always enjoyed spreadsheets, but there are definite people that like understand them more than I do, more on the like math balancing side. But like I use it because I have the graphic design background, and data merge is like my favorite thing to use in the world to populate cards and InDesign. So like building a spreadsheet to make that as easy as possible for me is my favorite thing to do. So I have spreadsheets on top of spreadsheets, and I use Airtable to log like all my play tests and like keep a lot of my stuff in there. Like I get kind of geeky with organization. So like my stuff is very organized, and I have tried to co-design with people that are not so organized, and it doesn't work quite as well.
That would be me. That would be my problem.
I guess we're just not a match. I'm so sorry. This is just like We're not there.
Yeah, no.
We'll just be friends.
I'm a mess and everything.
Oh.
It's funny because like I just sent basically like my files to someone and then they print it out and they're like, oh, what about this guy? What's his number? What's he on? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I put this number. Oh no, wait, that was handwritten on my copy that I printed. And then it's like, oh, where's this card? Oh, wait, no, that one was handmade as well. Hang on.
Oh my God.
But it's okay. We made it. But yeah.
Yeah, you did. So funny. I also need someone who can like rein in my enthusiasm in semi craziness because I just like I get so excited about ideas, and this is on the daily that I'm just like, guys, and they're like, Danielle, cool, like just cool it down. Yeah, I bust out like a new prototype like every week, and then some of them stick and some just don't. So, but I like need people to play it because like I get like the sparkle in my eyes and stuff, and then it gets proven that like no, she's not a 10, she's like a 6 in the daylight. But
wow.
No. Oh gosh.
We just for the past couple of months I've been doing one Sunday a month at our local store to help me get playtesters to look at 3WS stuff, but also help foster the design community in the area. You know, because with QSCon and the community, and it's been super beneficial for me to get eyes to games, and it's been amazing to see other designers come out with stuff that is creative and new and fun. And moving forward, we're starting a design guild here under QSCon, where we're going to meet every Sunday to get some playtesters to look at some designs on a more regular basis and continue to foster that thing. Playtesters are amazing, as long as they're not family and they're not friends, right? As John said on the panel, like it's easy to hear the good stuff, right? I don't want to hear that my game is good. Oh, it's fun. I liked it. Okay, great. Tell me the bad stuff.
My friends are too honest to me. Like I had to develop one game and I'm not going to mention what it was, but they're like, please, for the love of God, do not have us play this game. And I was like, guys, I'm not going to make you play it again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, they'll straight up tell me, like, we now have a thing where I can only play one prototype game, whether it's good or bad. I can only get one prototype game anytime we play a game. And I was like, fine, I choose the one, or I only get like one game they haven't played before. So we have rules, and they definitely aren't nice to me. They just tolerate me.
Well, I definitely get that. Like when if you bring prototypes to your gaming group, and some of the gamers there are like, well, this is the only time I get, you know, without kids, or this is the only night off I get, and stuff like that. And you want to play something that's already published and ready to go. Like I get that for sure. I think you need to make sure that you have a group that is open, like that is into the playtesting, into that problem solving, puzzle figuring out kind of
okay mode. With the rules changing mid game.
Yeah, well, it's exactly, and and who's okay not finishing a game, because sometimes you'll get 2 turns in and you're like, you know what, I got the information I needed, I got a ton of notes, there's too many changes that need to happen, we can just stop there. And you can't have people go like, but I wanted to play a game. No, this was like to figure out what's wrong with it. And so I think you definitely have to have the right group of people. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on board. Pop, once we get the Discord all locked up, like Katia and I and a bunch of others are creating this thing, but we'd love to have you in the space to either listen to ideas or be there when someone's stuck and help them unstuck, right?
That's kind of cool.
Well, we can talk about it, but I love especially your brain around certain things that
I feel like at this point I've done so many random things in a very short amount of time that I have like weird knowledge on stuff at this point. So happy to help. Happy to help.
All right, that was amazing. I love talking about that stuff, which, if you know me, let's get into HerStory. And I have a question.
All right, cool. I'll pull this up while you're questioning me. Now I've like moved it to the camera. You guys are there. If you see me looking sideways, that's what's up.
It just looks like you're looking at Katia. That's fine.
Cool.
I can look at you.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
Hey.
You
What?
low-key beautiful.
Oh, wow.
All right, I'm done.
Good. You sure? You got another one in there?
Probably, but I think it's best that we move on.
Okay. You mentioned being brought on to the team. What was it like coming in? I don't know. I'm going to generalize and say maybe it was halfway done, but what was it like coming into a game that had already started its movement forward?
So it was very interesting. What happened, I guess I'll just tell you the sort of like how I ended up getting on the project and
Tell us your story.
my story, her story. So basically, back in 2019, we're like going that back. I went to a game design retreat and met Charlie Bink, who was the designer for trekking the national parks and then also all the other trekking games. And like he's kind of what like got the ball rolling and Underdog Games started. And so I met him. And so we stayed in contact. And this year, while I was working at Forever So Creative, I got a Facebook message from him saying like, hey, we're working on this really cool game about women. We're about to like post this job. It's going to just be like a part-time co-design because clearly we want representation. We want a woman to be working on this project, which fully appreciate that. And if people, when they get the game, they read through the credits, like it's amazing how many women participated in the creation of this game between content, design, both illustration, graphic, all of it. So
the back page of your rule book, giving credit to the educators that helped out and the students that helped play test, like that on the back page of the thing was it touched me because of being an educator and being in doing the game design course at the high school. Like that was a really sweet, genuine nod to that, just to throw in there. If you get the game, look at the back of the rule book. It was a really sweet thing that they did. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly, it was so freaking nice. And also Underdog Games like sent out in like a cute little box. And I got one too, which I did not expect, but like they made custom HerStory boxes with like tissue paper to send to like a special thanks for anyone who like really worked on the game. So that was like super cute. But yeah, so I guess going back to it, I end up getting an interview because I like did the thing. I like read, filled it in, applied. I got an interview with Stacy, who is the content director, and she did an amazing job just like finding these group of advisors and just kind of like getting all that information. And yeah, so she liked me. They hired me. And it was funny, the first time I actually met the owner of the company, Hassan, was when he offered me a full-time job to be in charge of like the new branching off of what we're doing, which is making like kid family games and stuff, because Nick Bentley and I were co-designing HerStory. So like the game initially started with Emerson and him. Emerson created like an idea that Nick took, continued like making, and then I came on and like helped. So it was like this weird kind of like step process of like kind of partially handing off, but like as a team. So like when I came, they had come up with the idea of like this theme being you're a writer creating a book about amazing women in history. And so that was kind of like Emerson's contribution, and just like most of the trekking games, set collection's like a huge part of it. And so I kind of came on and was like, all right, it's a set collection engine builder. But at that time it was like 40 cards and they were very like stuck. And we had kind of a deadline of like, we need to have this game made because by the time everything was printed, it was like 2 years in. And so I came in like a little after a year's worth. So like a lot of the content and the women had already been decided. So like content had been moving pretty efficiently, where design was kind of like a little stuck. And they went through a few other designers that weren't like credited because it didn't work out for one reason or another. So even when I got hired, they're like, as a heads up, like you're the third person that's trying this. So like you might not work out either. And I was like, that's fair. I'm hoping for the best. And thankfully I got the best of the best because now I get to work full time for them. And I love working with them. But Nick was an excellent co-designer because he and I complement each other very well. Like I'm an incredibly social individual. I pick up on people's like cues and like how they feel and stuff. And I don't know if that's like a psych background or just like who I am as a person. So I can pick up on like the fun factors, and he's got like the more mathematical, analytical side. And so in that way we were very good at complementing, and like we would talk and come up with different powers, and some of them like stayed, some didn't. but we were a really good mix. And also he was better at the balancing of the math but also I'm way more decisive than he is. So like, he'd be like, ah, and I'm like, no, we're doing this. So it's like good compliments to each other. This game turned out phenomenally. Like it's easily the game that I'm most impressed with and like most proud of having worked on. And I know that it's not like 100% me, and I'm totally glad it wasn't, because it wouldn't be so good.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to show how to play.
And Evan, I agree.
I was gonna say, I was like, Katia, are you playing? Are you gonna get in here?
Yes. Is it? So what's the room name? Is Danielle?
I was gonna say, I was like, we put it in our chat. Maybe don't announce it to the world.
No, it's the password we don't announce.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But I can't find the room. That's why I'm asking.
All lowercase. Yeah, we're in here. We're waiting for you.
There it is.
There you
Yay! You found it.
I know the password. Nobody else does.
Secret.
All right, I'm coming in.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to add it to the stream.
Cool. All right. And you both have read the rules, but I can explain how the game is played for everybody who is watching, if that works. So over here, you're actually going to see a nice big version of our player aid, which is lovely. The thing I like about this game, very straightforward. There's one thing you can do on your turn, and one of those actions is you can either take a token, and in this case, in the TTS version, it looks like cards, but basically they'd be coming out of a physical bag. So when you do that, you draft it to your board. So I would just take it, put it onto my board. And the idea of these tokens is this is like your research. So each icon represents different forms of research. The other thing you can do is you can take one of these beautifully illustrated women and put them into like your draft. And when you do that, you're covering up the like little 2, which indicates you're getting 2 points right then. So if I were to take Mary would just move me over here too, right then and there. Now, the idea of this is similar to like a Splendor. You're reserving the card for later. You don't have the research yet to put it into your book. And the idea is like this area here is your book. So eventually you're going to have 8 chapters, or that is how the game ends. When someone reaches 8, you finish out the round, and then we would look at end game scoring because, like I mentioned, this is an engine building game. Different people have different abilities. So like on Ruby Bridges up here, that is just like a symbol that now you can use in the future. You can choose to use it or not use it. There's ones similar to Sally that has the 2 symbols. You can't split those up, but you can keep them together. But the third and last action you can do is once you have enough of those tokens, research tokens, to turn in to collect one of these women into your book, what you can do is you can either turn them in to take the drafted one into your book, or just take from over up top here in the corkboard. So when you do that, you're just going to turn in the research tokens that you have on the side of your board. Now, if you put exactly the same symbols that's on the card is also on your research token, then you get an additional 3 points as an exact bonus. Now, if you don't, you have like an extra light bulb in there that you didn't need, that's fine. You're just going to get the amount of points in the corner. So those are the points you're going to get right away. There's going to be some like end game scoring, but this is a game that as we play, I can answer questions if there are questions. But yeah, so on your turn, just do one thing. You're either taking tokens, drafting a card, or paying your tokens to put an amazing historical woman into your book.
Is there in the rule book, is there like almost like a glossary of all the women in the game and what they have done? Like what?
No, so you go onto the website and it says on the back, and we also have a QR code inside the box. Okay. But yeah, so it talks about all 120. And the cool thing is with any underdog game, on the back of these is little bios of all these women. Little HerStory and a fun little did you know.
That's what I was wondering, is if you had that like in the rule book, but if it's right behind the card, that's even better.
Yep, right behind the card. But also if you go on the website, you can learn even more about them. You can also nominate people. So if you have like a neighbor that did something really special, or your mom, like you can do that. And we post pictures of like women in your life, which is pretty cool.
Neato.
Yeah.
Is this the full rule book?
Yeah, there's maybe been like 1 or 2 tweaks, but yep, that's the full rule book.
So it's a very accurate rulebook. It was very well laid out. The way you go through your different actions and how it explains how the different actions go was intuitive and smart and easy to read. Everything about it was
Excuse me.
Very smart. And I wonder if
it's probably our
there
best
is.
rulebook.
That's
on
what
the
I was
very back.
Yep. I think that's awesome that you guys did that. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I feel like credits, it's like the least you can do in a game is give people the credit that's due. One thing I did forget to mention is you notice the little library cards on the very bottom. So that is a mechanic that I thought up, which is if we don't like what's currently like down here as far as the research tokens go, you just flip over the card, remove those research tokens, and then get brand new ones and then choose. So it's just like a way to maybe hopefully get what you're looking for. And you can only use it twice because like after you flipped it, the second time you just remove it from the game.
Where are we getting the tiles from? Where are the...
So you're grabbing it from up top. This is just the deck. So that's totally fine. You just take it from there.
Oh, the other ones underneath? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just this one that's a deck. And then our discard's going to be right here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a little different. Like in the physical game, like you have a really pretty bag that looks like leather. In this, you're going to do the digital version. So, you know, but you can also draft from the top of this deck.
And that's able to be, so Ruby's able to be drafted, correct?
Yep. Everything that's face up can be drafted. Just be careful not to put too much pressure because you'll take the full deck.
Right. So if somebody takes Sally, is Ruby going to go over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So on my screen, I see Sally.
Sure.
I don't see anybody else.
Oh, no. Are you not fully loaded?
Yeah, it's loaded.
Weird.
It's all there.
Maybe refresh. Can you click on the card?
Is there a way to refresh?
Get out and get back in? Yeah. I don't know.
Can you click on a card or flip a card and see if it loads it for you or changes it for you?
When I do the Alt, see, I just clicked something and now it says loading 0 out of 1.
Yeah, yours says 0%.
Yeah, because I see the tokens, I see Sally, I see all of our boards.
Weird.
That is weird. Do I need to leave?
Yeah, because it's not Tabletopia, so you can't just hit refresh. Although your number just went way down from 400 something, so maybe it's working.
It still says 0%.
Yeah, it still says 0.
Okay, how do I exit?
Menu.
Click menu, and then main menu, and then
main menu. Okay, let me come back.
Okay, cool.
My apologies for the delay. This is what you got for live.
This is how it works. Well, we got a couple of things I got to catch up on, so yeah, that's accurate.
Low-key causing trouble. Oh, yeah. Accurate.
Always.
All that mischief.
Yeah,
this digital version is pretty close. We removed like the plus signs from the cards for just like graphic design. So that's like no longer in there. But yeah, in general, this is basically the game that you'd be buying.
That just meant +3, like +3 points, right?
Yeah. 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 Instead, it's just like you just get, it is still +3. It's just the plus sign didn't feel necessary because it's in the same shape as like in the corners. Yeah.
So yeah, there's 2 different types of powers. The ones that you had mentioned about having the icons on the bottom, which are usable, and then there's powers that are end game. Sometimes they're end game, right? At the end.
And some are like catch-up mechanics. So like when you're not in the lead or when you're in last place, those are catch-up mechanics that we put in there too. Yeah. We tried quite a few different ways to do like catch-up mechanics in this game. Like at one point we even tested similar to the rat tails and Quacks of Quedlingberg. We had like a little light bulb. So it was like, oh, you hit inspiration. You're catching up a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
But then we streamlined and removed and like we streamlined a lot out of this game. But yeah. Nice. All right. Let's see. Looks like
you're at 68. I'm at 68 and it won't change.
Hopefully
like I have all my browsers closed.
Wow, usually the internet hates me.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here, folks.
Oh no.
Like I'm really trying to.
Yeah, it's like staying at 68.
It's staying at okay. Let me just close.
It's better than 0. It was at 0 before.
It hasn't moved in like 3 minutes though, so I'm gonna just close Tabletopia altogether.
Tabletop simulator.
Or tabletop, yeah, that's what I mean.
He's like, you're not calling me the right name.
Tabletopia trying to connect. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it had a hard time shutting down just now. So definitely.
Maybe you needed to like update something. That's the worst, is when it doesn't tell you need to update something.
Well, so it you know what? Let's exit that too. Just exit now. Yep. Exit all of that. I know, yeah, there are times where we do the live streams with Thundergriff that like right before logging in, all of a sudden it's like, oh, Steam needs to make a bunch of updates. And it's like, no, I'm trying to connect live. And it's like, yeah.
No, it's interesting because there's also, I'm looking at the recording and the pawns are different colors on your screen than they are on my screen. Because like this pawn here is like a light blue on mine that matches this blue, and this one's a green that matches this green. But like on your screen, it's just like the normal,
Yeah,
like red, yellow, blue, green. Fascinating.
Yeah, that is weird.
Weird.
I'm trying to restart. So fill the air with chit chat about game design. So tell us more about your eBay game that people may have heard about at Gen Con.
Oh, okay. So this is a good story as you're trying to figure this out. But basically, last year at Gen Con, I went to the airport, was starving before my flight, and was trying to find a food place to eat. And there was a place where you could sit down and they'd take your order, but there was like no tables empty. But I saw this old couple kind of looking like they were getting ready to go. So I like asked them if I could just kind of like creepily hang out so that way no one's G'd their table. So I'm like standing there, and this guy right next to the old couple is just like, you can share my table. But it's like, you know, during COVID, and it was a stranger. So like it was nice of him to do that. And so I sit down and we like start talking because I noticed he has an eBay shirt on. And last year was the first time eBay was ever at Gen Con. So we started talking a little bit, and he mentions that they had given away like these eBay exclusive trading cards. And I had no idea that that was a thing that they did. And I was like, well, have you thought about making like a board game? And then I quickly just like pitched like, hey, I'm a board game designer. At the time I was working for a game manufacturing company that also could do like graphic design, illustration, like the whole 9 yards. So I, at that moment, proposed making a game for eBay. And then I did follow up. And so Steve and I are actually still friends. We like follow each other on Instagram and Facebook and things. And this year at Gen Con, the eBay exclusive board game came out. And when I pitched a bunch of different designs to them, the one they went with was eBay Buy It Now. It's basically a simulation of how eBay works and how you can collect cards, you can bid for them, or sometimes you can just spend the money and buy it now. And so it's kind of like a bidding, economics kind of game that, I mean, it is an advertisement to eBay. Like the whole other point was if you make it exclusive, it's probably going to end up on eBay. And that's like the only way you can now find copies are the people that got it at Gen Con and then put it back on eBay for like more than free, which is what it was. It was free if you showed that you had an eBay account. But It's like actually really good quality game. Like the components were really good. They had one weird decision of making like a circle disc where it should have been like a triangle or something instead. But yeah, so I designed that, and I hired John when I was working at that manufacturing company to get it made. They made some adjustments since I wasn't working there, but in general, most of it was pretty similar. So that's the eBay game. So just like talk to the right person at the right time, did the follow-up, and now I've designed a game for one of the largest companies in the world. So
that's not bad. That's pretty good. Good story.
I call that go get them. Like it's you have an idea and you just go and pitch it, and you like, damn, that's so impressive to me that you could I don't know, just between like getting the nerves to like pitch your idea like that to, you know, random people you've just met. yeah, I don't know. It like boggles my mind. I'm so impressed.
It's really funny because I didn't realize how odd a story or how impressive it was until Gen Con this year when people had my game and were carrying it around and talking about it. And then I was like, oh my God, I made a game for one of the largest companies in the world, literally just based off of a meal, talking to the right person and deciding to like just pitch to them out of the blue and having the confidence and follow. Like, I just can't even believe that happened. It's so crazy to me. Like, I don't know if I'll ever have a better story than that. And if I do, like, I'm so excited to see what that game is.
I mean, next, I think you just got to call up Amazon. Call
there
Amazon.
It is.
Pitch them something about selling games at 40% more than what they're actually worth.
So funny enough, I actually do have a game that would be great for Amazon. It's a party game that I made when I was like a kid. And yeah, it'd actually be freaking great as an Amazon game.
Well, fun fact, Amazon watches our show, so they'll be contacting you.
Oh, yeah.
They're
big fans.
Please. I've got you. I have a super fun high energy game that could either be like Christmas elf themed or Amazon like warehouse theme, like fulfillment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With Christmas elf, I mean,
they're basically like the same thing, working in a warehouse, trying to get shit out to ungrateful people that want it right now.
putting the mail in the tube, the really sucky tube, like elf. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool. So I think this is going to be. You can play this 2 players.
There's no hidden information, so really you can tell me what to draft and I can put it to your board.
Let's just do that.
Okay.
Because I can't see. I'm gonna have to go off the main screen. I'm still at 68%.
So weird.
It is weird. So we'll just do that.
Okie doke.
So I can hover over.
So you probably go first.
I'll hover over the different players or the different cards, so you can see what they say, and you can kind of make out the icons. So there's 5 icons in the game.
4 different icons. So there's like the magnifying glass, the light bulb, the speech bubble, and the book.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you're never going to see any tokens that have just one symbol. You're also never going to see a token with 3 of the same symbol. It'll either be 3 different symbols, 2 the same with 1 different, or 2 the same or 2 different.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 the same or 2 different.
Yep.
Okay.
The only time you can ever have a single symbol is if you get it on like hard power.
Got it.
Cool. All right. I say let's go left to right. Yeah. So Mike, you first.
Oh, great. Okay.
You chose to sit there. We can switch seats.
I'm fine with green. I'm good with it. I'm going to take this.
Nice choice. All right. I can refill things. I'm pretty used to it at this point.
Okay.
Sweet. Alrighty. I'm gonna draft this, which gives me 2 points right then. Put it there.
I think I'm going to get what's the power of the lady in the middle? At game ends, +3 for each player who didn't complete 8 chapters. So you want to be last with her. Okay. Actually,
that's not true. You want to get 8 chapters and not have Danielle or I get 8 chapters because it'll be +6.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm going to get Sally there at the end.
Can you see the icons well enough, or do you want me to like?
It's a little small, but I can see hers. I'm at 84%, so there is a chance.
All right. So I moved Sally and I gave you 2 points.
I can move in a little because we don't need the pink board.
There we
go. Does that make it bigger?
Yep. That's good.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Your turn, Mike.
Oh, right. Who came up? Well, based on what's going on. All right, let's go Ruby. I'm going to draft Ruby, and I'm going to go up 2 points.
Cool. I'm going to take this token.
All right. I am going to take that last icon, the last chit on
This
the right.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I feel like this has to go. I'm gonna take that one.
Okay.
I would like to wipe them all with my library card.
No, you stink.
Yeah,
Seriously?
that's awful.
What?
Monkey causing trouble and mischief.
I really
whole
dislike you for this right now because I had like, oh my god, you suck.
Yeah, I'm not too
So
thrilled about
I
that.
will
either.
take the cardboard chit that is the fourth. I guess no, sorry, the third one, the middle one.
This?
That one. Yes, please. Thank
You
you.
suck.
Yeah, that's brutal.
God damn, what?
Oh, and so does that mean my? There you go. I flipped it. I'm at 84% still. I can now see the first two cards.
Wow.
That's good.
I'm
Game
almost there.
changer.
All right, I need that and that. So let's do. I'm gonna take this.
Don't you touch my. Damn you both.
That's what I needed.
Y'all are annoying.
I'm going to take the second last cardboard chip, please.
So why don't we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Well, it's because the one's a pile. You're able to draw from the pile?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take from here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep. You
Yeah.
can take from the top of both. Cool.
Oh, maybe I wouldn't have wiped the whole row earlier. I'm just messing.
You! Oh.
Wow.
I kid. I
Pay
kid.
more attention. Just kidding. Do you kid? All right. Yeah, tone. Oh, I guess we can remove pink is not playing for red on your screen.
Why don't we do this one?
Could you potentially film 2 cards at once?
Technically you can only do one.
Okay.
But also, I guess, yeah, if you had it, you could technically maybe, but it's very unlikely. But yeah, on your turn, you can only do one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to do one, please.
Hey, it's my turn.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I haven't done my turn yet. But now I want to hurt you. What can I do to hurt you?
You're not going to be able to because I'm going to fulfill my card.
Fair. Whatever.
It's all right. She's not going to get the extra 3 points for it, though, so that's fine.
That does make me feel a little better about my life and your life. So I actually am also filling one, but I am spending this token and this, which is exact for Dorothy.
Ooh,
Oh, I
nice.
forgot that you could do the top. That's right.
Yeah. So because it's exact, so exactly what I needed, I'll get an additional 3 points on top of the 6 points that are in the corner for her. So that gives me 9 points for blue. So that brings me up to 11.
Ah. Right. So now I get a new card, right?
I put a new one out. Yep. All right. So you're gonna make Sally? Is that what you decided?
Hold on now.
Okay.
What's this one here? She's got light bulbs and speeches. Okay. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to grab the 2 light bulbs here.
It's never a bad choice.
Yeah.
Could do that one now. All right, I'm gonna do this, and this for Rachel.
You son of a bitch. You knew I was going for her next.
3. I wasn't looking at what you got there. 3 light bulbs.
Sure.
It is not exact, but for future reference from now on, I'll get +2 for exact. So if I
Okay,
do
so
get
it'll be worth
exact,
5.
5, right?
Nice.
I'm
I
good.
can see why you're mad now.
I'm going to.
Hey, you keep trying to skip me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Goddamn Loki. Just because you don't like Spider-Gwen, whatever. All right, I'm going to take the double magnifying glass. Oh, there's a lot of double magnifying glass going on.
I'm going to fulfill my own card, I think. Is that the best choice?
I mean, you have all the symbols.
Great. I know. It's just not exact, so I was just looking. But yes, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to fulfill my own card, and that will give me 2.
0 points, but also 2 symbols. So.
Oh, is she at 0 points? I did not see
She is
that.
0 points.
Oh,
so yeah, but in the
Oh.
future, you have the option to use this as like a permanent power for like basically having one of these tokens.
Yeah.
We're keeping track of the points when like my 3 points that I got for Rachel, I didn't do. We do that now, not in game. Okay.
Yeah, you do it right when you put it into your book, quote unquote.
So why am I sitting at 2 points then?
Because it was a draft. You got 2 points for that, and so now it's still 2 points. Yeah,
better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I mean, that's pretty good too. All right, I'm gonna take this one.
Take this one.
I'm going to. I think I'll take some speech bubbles.
No. Those are magnifying glasses. Do you want the double speech bubble?
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. No.
Oh, you want the magnifying?
Yes, I wanted the magnifying. Sorry, they look like speech bubbles and very small.
No, it's okay. I'm glad because I wanted the speech bubbles and I was about to yell at you.
Oh, you can have them.
Don't I go after Katia?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So now you're playing Loki.
I'm skipping. Okay,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm taking speech bubble.
God damn it! So it's you I hate.
In all fairness, she's a variant, so
freaking Wookie.
Yeah.
It's what we do.
That's what we do.
What we do.
Great. Now I gotta figure out what I want. Fine, I'll take this. All right, Loki.
Is it already back to me?
It's already back to you. That's the beauty of this game. It's very quick turns.
Okay. I think. Huh. Hold on a minute.
Holding.
And then does she have any points? She does. I think I'm going to get the chit that is. Why is this still out? I don't want this to be. Stop it. I want the chit that's in the middle.
This one, the 2 light bulbs and magnifying.
No, the other one.
The blue speech bubble.
Yeah, that
okay.
thing.
That guy.
Oh man!
Did you seriously? You son of a biscuit. Okay. You suck.
I know.
Frack. Never gonna get exact. I want exact. I should just give up on that bit though. Okay. 2 points. 2. That's 2.
It's me, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So 2 book, 3 light bulb, 3 speech bubbles. Is Ruby exact?
2, 3, yep.
So 4 points plus 5. So 9 points for Ruby.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay.
so mad. I might just not care. Wait. Did I? No, I did do it. Yay! I have exact. I was like, I swear to God, I was working so hard. So exact to bring Mary into my book. Huzzah. So that's 5 plus 3. So that's 8 points for blue. Gets me to 19. And in the future, the power I have is I get 3 points when completing a chapter requiring at least 3 speech bubbles on it. Cool. So basically, in the future, like this one, or this one, or this one. Hee hee.
What if I did that? 1, 2. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to take this girl.
All right, Alice. Damn you. Did you hear me saying I want that?
No.
Oh.
Why does he get 2 points?
Because he drafted. We've been giving you 2 points when you do it,
you got
too.
2 points for your draft, too.
It's literally the only reason you're so high on this track is because you keep drafting things.
Oh. I thought you would take that when you fulfill it.
No, you take it immediately.
Okay.
Because otherwise you'll like forget. Yeah. So it's like right when you cover it.
Okay.
Take.
Thank goodness. By the way, I have no idea what the card that I drafted does. The bottom one.
The bottom one. At game's end, 3 for each player who didn't complete 8 chapters.
That's the one we talked about before. You want to finish the game with 8 and have us not finish with 8.
Right.
Yep.
You want to speed that up.
All right.
No, you want to speed the game. I didn't mean speed your turn up. I mean, you want to speed game end.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Now choose, and don't choose what I want.
Is it this one?
I'm not telling you. There's many things that I want in life.
Yeah,
I don't want you to take the thing I currently want.
Oh man, this is a good one. I'm gonna go here.
Thank you, Jesus. I was like, please don't do it. Please, sir, don't touch my things.
Did you play?
Yeah, Loki, your turn.
Oh, I'm going to take this thing here. Hello.
Kind
of need that.
Definitely not ideal.
I feel like we need to exclusively just call each other by our costumes now. We're going to go
Chewbacca.
Granted, I want to call you Wookiee over Chewbacca because Wookiee's more fun to say.
That works.
Chewie.
Chewie. Let's go with I'll reserve her.
Okay. Place that. Okay. Take that.
All right. I'm going to complete. I'll do my top one first, I guess. It's an exact completion. This token here alongside my 2 from Sally.
Nice.
Oh, nice. All right, so yeah. That would give you 5 plus 3, so 8. 4 yellow.
Just like that, I'm coming to get you.
And her power in the future, I guess, is at the end game or at game's end, +2 for each card left in your opponent's draft areas.
Right.
So not bad because currently 2 draft. All right, Chewy.
This one.
I realized I thought I was going to get exact on something and then miscalculated some stuff. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
So because I have access to 2 greens down here,
Mm-hmm.
if I have an extra green when I fulfill, does it count as an exact number or no?
No.
Because she counts as if I was spending a token of 2 speech
Yep.
bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah. But I mean, if you do get exact using it, then you do get the exact bonus. So
yeah. Okay. So I
That's
will
the question I asked you earlier.
yeah, that's funny.
I will be spending these 2 tokens here along with my 2 speech bubbles.
Cool.
To fulfill exactly my bottom card.
Damn. Get it. All right. So 5 plus 3, 8. This puts you at, oh my God, brain.
And just because I have Ruby doesn't mean I'm using that book as a freebie, right? Like I can choose to.
You can choose to not use it. It's
Perfect.
like you could choose to not use a token.
Okay.
Yep.
So with my book and my magnifying glass, and then 2 more magnifying glasses and a speech bubble, I do Elizabeth.
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, exactly. So that's 6. It's small for me. 6 plus 5.
Yeah.
So 11 points.
That power is doing you good.
Jerk.
Yeah.
Shit, though. All right, I don't want you taking her, so I'm gonna take.
I'm at 86%. It went up too.
Nice.
Woo! Good for you on the board. All right, your turn, Loki.
What does the second from the right do?
+2 when you complete a chapter costing 5 or 6 symbols.
Okay. Huh.
Which currently, I mean, this one's 6 symbols. This is 5. This is 5.
You wouldn't be able to use Jennifer's power on Jennifer, right? Like when you completed it, it'd have to be
no. So every power is in the future.
Right. What does the lady on the right do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What's her point value?
Oh, 6.
Okay. Damn, I don't like what's there. I'm gonna use my library card one last time.
All right. I'm actually okay with this time.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. You know what? I might just rotate it. And then we know that it's like been completely used.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
Did you get what you want?
I'm going to take this thing here.
Oh my God. Sorry.
What'd you do?
I rotated the whole board.
Oh. Don't do that in the future.
Right click is not the same as left click.
Oh, Nutter Butters. I feel like I need to just suck it up and spend more than I want.
Yeah, you're running out of room for tokens.
I know. And so for anyone who's watching, if I do run out, what happens is I would just replace it, but that's just like not an optimal move. So I just need to suck it up and not do exact, even though I want to.
That was my first one. My first one was like that.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just too stubborn for my own good.
I'm going to hold on a minute. What's this one? If you're not leading, +2 when you complete a drafted chapter.
Currently,
and that
you're
would
leading.
be from now on?
Be in the future, but currently you are leading because you are the winner.
But I mean, somebody could pass me.
True.
I think I'm going to complete that one now with an accurate number. So I will spend my 2 tokens.
Okay, so these 2 plus your power.
Yeah, plus my power, and I will just complete her now directly.
Okay, so then 5 plus 3, 8 brings you to 30. Nice.
I need to get those books done. I'm going to take this.
Meow. Let's see. All right, I gotta let my stubborn streak wear off. I'm gonna just overspend by like a lot.
Oh,
I know. It makes me sad inside too. Boop. To get you, which is gonna give me just 4, but also because I have Mary's power, I get an additional 3. So at least it's like having done exact. I was just hoping to get more.
I'm gonna take this one here, draft it for 2. I will move myself if my mouse will cooperate.
No, it's all good. I got you. I moved you. It was just hard to watch. I'm just kidding.
It really is, because everything is lagging.
Right, Chewbacca.
I don't know what I want to do.
Been there. Life is hard, man.
Yeah, it sucks, right? All right, I'm just gonna take this one.
Cool. Not especially helpful. Shoot. Okay. Watching looks like a drunk person just trying to like
It is not because of the wine, I swear.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's lagging, but that's just pretty good. It's pretty funny.
It really is.
No, that's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Don't do it.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay. Damn. Shoot. Okay, I think I'm gonna use my library card. Thank you. Did I mess you up? Good.
I'm holding in a word.
No, there's only 2 left, so we gotta just shuffle these then.
Yeah. So I'll move these out, shuffle them up.
Oh, so they have a good chances of coming back up.
Yeah. Really, man? God darn it. Guess I will think more. Man, seriously? Fine, I'll take this. I'm so mad that I used my library card for that crap. Oh, you Loki.
Mm-hmm. They gotta come and get this.
Whoa,
Back to you, Loki.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, hey. What's happening there?
So it's me. It's user error. I apologize.
I'm going to say, I'm going to grab this one here. That's kind of a good one.
I'm going to use Ruby's power to get 3 books, 3 light bulbs, and 2 magnifying glasses to get Margaret in for 9 points.
Nice. Yeah. Damn, part of me is like, do I want to get on your guys' level of having a little power? Okay.
Huh. Why? Okay, so my one card is not showing the same as your cards. What's the first? What's the very first card?
You have?
No, that one. Patsy Mink. If you're in last when researching, you may take an extra token. Oh.
Yeah. So like you would be able to take like 2 things at a time.
Yeah, I should have read that.
You can reserve it. You have a spot open.
I don't want her.
Because I'm in first. Her power means nothing to me.
Right. I think I'm going to fulfill. I'm going to overdo it, but it is what it is. I'm going to take these to fulfill my person. 3 light bulbs, 4 speeches, because I have the 2 bubbles at the bottom.
Okay, so taking them all.
Hey, no, not my bottom one.
Sorry, not the bottom one. My bad.
And so that would be how many points?
Yeah,
10
move you to 42.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice.
Oh, it needs to go to, yeah.
Yep, gotcha. How about Chewy?
All right, I'm going to fulfill Madam Walker with just 1 tile. I got my 2 green, 2 books, and 2 magnifying glasses. And she ends up being 6 points.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
God, what is up with the lack of speech bubbles happening in this game? It's ridiculous. All right, I'll take this. Also, for anyone watching, never copy anything I ever do as far as how to play games, because I try something different every time. Playtesters make that mistake. I'm like, I am not playing efficiently. I am playing differently than I played last time.
Way to do it.
Yeah. I also tend to lose my own games constantly. So.
Yeah.
But you did win the eBay one when we played it.
Fair.
Right?
Did I? No, I don't. Why do I feel like Daryl won?
I thought you did. We didn't play the full game. I think we skipped a round, but you were winning.
Possibly.
What just happened?
I used my library card.
Okay. For some reason, this card is black for me. What is going on, Tabletop Simulator? What are you doing?
Right.
Okay.
You're talking about the top card, like the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also black for me.
Oh, weird. But like on his screen, it's what, 2 speech and a
Light bulb.
light bulb? Okay. All right. I am gonna overspend and do this to get Jennifer. Boop. And so in the future, +2 when I complete a chapter costing 5 or 6 symbols.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that sucked.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, that's what I'm actually going for.
Totally did that on purpose.
Yeah.
100% hates you. I'm just kidding.
Not the first, won't be the last.
I mean, how much you kept messing with my stuff?
I didn't mess with your stuff at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Whatever, Chewy. Part of me feels like I want to get on, like, all right, maybe I'll get on the hood game for a little bit before I get like too hot.
Right?
I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I feel left out. All right.
I'm good.
There we go. Hey, you didn't mess with my stuff for once.
I think I've only done it once. It's Sylvie that's been messing with all your stuff.
But I'm the god of
mischief.
So
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
All right,
Sure.
so I'm turning these exact in
Nice.
for Juliet. So that's 5 plus 3, and then the power I just got is anything that's costing 5 or 6 symbols. I get an additional 2.
I have a question.
5, 8, 10. Yeah. What's the question?
So my one card says when I'm not in the lead and I fulfill a card, what happens if I'm tied for lead?
You're still technically in the lead.
That's what
but you can be tied for not being in the lead.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
Yep. But solid question.
I'm going to need another pig, and I know it's not a pig. I think it's a book. From here, it looks like a pig.
Okay.
And a speech bubble.
That's so funny.
Because it looks like a pig's head because it's very small.
Funny. Okay.
I think it's a book.
It's a book. Yeah, the pink one. It's a book. But your interpretation is unique.
It is a book. But yes, from here it looks like a pig.
This sucks.
Rude. They don't think you're so great either.
It's just not like they all need a lot of magnifying glasses, right?
As you take the only double magnifying glass.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I feel like he's hoarding those.
It's not hoarding. I have 2. That was the second one I had.
Take that.
I'm going to fulfill exactly.
Of course you will.
These 2 tokens. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to do them one by one.
Probably best.
And this with my 2 speech bubbles equal this.
Yeah.
Do you want me to move it for you?
I can't see how much the point value is.
Oh, it's 4. Yeah.
And I don't know what the bonus is either. I basically drafted her blind.
You get 3
You drafted
points
her to
for
take her away from
completing.
me. I understand.
Yeah. So in the future, you get an additional 3 points for completing a chapter requiring at least 3 of the books. So 3 of your quote unquote pigs.
3 pigs? Okay. Okay.
I like how you said you didn't even know what her power was. You just drafted her anyway. And
I went by the icons.
Wait, did you get exact on that one? So I
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay, so then that's 7. So I'll move you up 7 points so that I can get all the way over here.
Hey, I was on 42.
Pig shit.
Did you notice I was on 42?
Yeah, I moved you. Now you're over here. You're at 49.
I'm pretty happy with being at 49.
Oh, gotcha. Now I get it. I'm like, yeah, I moved you. If you want to stay at 42, I'm totally okay with that as I pass you by. All right, Chewy.
No, I will
got?
take my 49.
Fair.
Okay.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do next, though. Now
I don't know what you're gonna do.
Is it my turn? Or is it you?
It's mine, but now it's your turn because I just grabbed a thing.
I have some speech bubbles.
Nice.
And I think I'm gonna take this.
Okay.
It'll suck.
So mean.
They just suck. Like the combination of not the women. I'm saying the piles suck.
You could use your library card. That's what it's there for. Just
Again,
being stubborn because you don't use it.
Gonna be. I don't know. I don't want to use it yet.
You get first pick.
Yeah. Or just be stubborn like I was being before. That's fine.
Well, I am stubborn.
You're like, yep.
That ain't gonna work either. Ugh. The worst. Need to get that in there. All right. So these suck. Have I said that yet? These suck.
Just once or twice.
All right. Awful. Down. All right.
Okie dokie. I'm going to overspend to get my drafted card in here, but because I have a power that anytime I write a book with 5 research or 6, I get an additional 2, and then I also get an additional 3 because of having 3 speech bubbles.
Holy crap.
So that's 5 plus 6, 11. Wee!
Wee!
Zoom, zoom. For the win! No. All right. Your turn, Loki. Also, if you're not leading now,
I almost think I'm going to come and fulfill her here. Even what's her power again?
Which one?
If you're in last when researching, you get to take 2.
Yeah. Oh, is it just because you're trying to speed up the game?
Kinda. I think she might pay off in that sense. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm going to take her and use all my tokens, and it becomes
it's an exact, yeah.
An exact.
So you got 3 points then for this one.
So I mean, she's still worth something because I'm doing it.
Okay, I'll move you up. Yeah, that's pretty harsh. 1, 2, 3. Here you go. You're just slightly beating me. Now, had you drafted it first, then done that, you would have gotten more points.
I know, but
so I'm going to reserve Julia Child. for 2.
Julia's pretty great. And I'm also
Yep.
pretty upset because that would have gotten me a lot of points. Damn you, sir.
You're welcome.
Oh, God, I'm like a blank canvas. What do I want? Not many of the things. I'll go for this.
Ooh, I'll take that.
No.
All right.
You're rushing the game, does it? I'm going to be so mad. Because you also have a ton of end game scoring.
Sure
I'm going
do.
to write Julia Child's chapter for 2 book, 2 light bulb, and my 2 green. Which gets me 1 plus 5. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. I'm going to take a DS.
I don't like what's there.
If only you had a library card.
Yeah, but I don't.
Did he bring those books back? So they tore it up.
Revoked.
Yep. Used the bathroom one too many times. And they're like, nope, sick of cleaning this up.
Take
Get
this
out of
one.
here.
Man, that'd be nice to do. None of that works, huh?
Hey, you can't go look.
No. Sorry. I was trying to make it work because it was black for me. Couldn't see what it was.
Like you can't peek underneath the pile.
I'm not trying to cheat. I was trying to figure out how to get it to appear on the screen for me. Good call, though. I'm not cheating. Yeah, right. I'll just have to tell Mike to zoom in on that one. For some reason, sometimes it's loading and sometimes it's not. Thank you.
It's the 2 pigs.
You mean 2 books? I guess, technically, if it's a leather-bound book, it is a pig, but that's gross to think about.
I mean,
wow, yeah, that's...
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
All right, I'm going
A book
to...
about butchery.
I'm good. I don't really think many people are going to buy that game. Feel free, though, to find your other co-designer that's not me for that. Yeah. Again. In this case, it's definitely not me, it's you. All right.
Not me, it's you. I'm going to
make a decision this year.
This is my forever turn. We're all allowed 1 in 1 game. I saw it in the rule book.
Oh, okay.
Man, these are just rotten.
You have a library card.
I know. I'm going to use it,
dude.
I hate it. Get rid of these things.
The stubbornness is so real. It's so funny.
Oh, man.
There we go. Okay. That's even worse. How did you get that to be worse?
That's like all the speech bubbles I always wanted.
Yeah. That is awful.
It's what I do.
Shoot.
It's what I do.
Save the one I just put into my thing.
Man, these are not good. Yeah, they're also pretty bad, huh?
What is this one? It is black for me. Okay, thank you.
I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna reserve this one.
You are a. You're
are a
hate drafting.
I didn't even look at your board. Honestly, I didn't. I believe what you want, but
I'm gonna take this.
Oh, I didn't get my 2 points.
Oh, here I got you one too.
You don't deserve them.
I don't, but I'll take
So
them.
rude. You don't deserve them.
This is the worst.
Yep.
I mean, you're so close to ending this game too.
Yeah, had he not taken that card?
Thank you for taking that card so she couldn't end the game.
I didn't do it on purpose, so I
Did you seriously not? Wow.
No, I really, honestly,
just accidental heritage.
Well, I can't fulfill it exactly, which sucks, and I'm hoping for a way to do it. But 8 + 5 would be a nice point getter right now.
What does the lady in the red here?
Just 2
points and 2 magnifying glasses.
Lame-o.
Helpful in the beginning of the game, though.
Right?
But right now, that's the last card you need. Probably not as useful now.
All right. I'm just going to take this. Oh, yeah. There it is.
What's the new one that popped up? I can't see it.
It's a light bulb and magnifying glass.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, I wanted that to be 2 light bulbs, damn it.
Oh,
Can't have it all, man. Can't have it all.
Nope.
Yep. I know. All right, I'm just going to do this. I'll overpay, which sucks, but 1, 2, 3, so 4 magnifying glasses, 2 light bulbs. That gets me 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. I will take this. Is this what I want to take? Sure. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm so glad I thought about using my library card, but I was like, there's no way because I don't want her to end the game. I want to get like a little bit more in. Just gotta get a little bit more. And using my library card makes it too easy for you both.
I just need those magnifying glasses. That's what everybody wants right now. Well, I should probably not put it on my card.
What'd you do?
It's underneath my card.
Okay. You are a train wreck. I'm just kidding.
Just a smidget.
Just a smidget. Just the tiniest bit of train wreck.
These are not good.
Can you make this one big? Because I can't see it. Okay, 2 books and a light bulb. I like that. Wait, actually.
We're probably going to have one more turn after this because I'm pretty sure Katia has.
All right, then I'm just going to use my library card then. We're at that point.
All right, shuffle that up and bring them out because.
Nope.
Perfect.
Is it though?
No.
No.
All right. I'm going to finish.
No.
I'm going to fill this one here.
No.
You should reserve it first to get the extra.
Nope.
No, because
Nope.
because that just ends the game because she was the last player. So like that's
So
finishing
I'm
out the round.
taking. I'm overpaying, but I'm taking this token here, this one here,
Son of a biscuit.
and this one here. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 light bulbs. Yeah. So she scores. What is it?
2 points.
2 points. But then I will get.
1, 2.
I was last player, so you guys don't get another round, right?
Nope. Yeah, the game's over. So we'll look and see if anyone has end game scores. So like I have a card that says at game's end I get 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
I get one that says something with you guys having cards left.
Yeah, you have at end game 2 for each of our draft cards. So
It
we
says
have
3 for each player.
Yeah, Alice is different than this one. This
Oh.
one's +2 for each card left in the draft area, so we each have 1. So that's worth 4 points for you now.
Yeah.
Do you want me
And
to move
then-
you? I can move you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so 4
And then
points.
the one above it for Alice is at game's end, you get +3 for each player who didn't complete 8 chapters. So you get another 6 points because we didn't complete 8 chapters.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
So
you
this
have an
is-
end game.
This is nothing. She doesn't do anything for me.
But then you have Madam. Yes.
She does nothing. At game's end, I get +2 for every 2 in my.
Yeah,
Books?
for every 2 book and every 2 speech bubble because of these 2. So yeah, spread them all
So
out.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So Julia gets me 4 points.
I thought you said it was +2 per. No?
+1 for every 2 speech
Oh.
bubbles.
Yeah, so add them up, divide by 2.
1, 2, 3. So I got 4. Oh, 5. Sorry. 1. Oh my God. Sorry. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 5 points for that.
Cool.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Then for Walker.
And then, where's what? Oh yeah, +1 for every 2 books. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for that.
Are we gonna tie? I hope
1,
not.
2, 3, 4. 5.
Excuse me, I'm blue. Thank you.
Oh,
You're green.
all right.
Oh,
I
you're
mean,
at
I'm
13.
okay with you pushing me ahead, but
Yeah,
You're at 13.
Yep. So that was my thing. That was that. Those are my 2 end games. So that's your final score.
Whew.
all right. Damn. 1 point. Good job.
Well done.
Good
Is
job.
it-
Yeah, it's
fun.
good. That's tight. That's fun. That's well designed. It's streamlined. It's approachable. It's got a great theme. Good job.
Where do people find this?
Well,
There's a
I
link
sent
in the
the
show
link.
notes.
Yeah, there's a link in the show notes, but basically it'll be found on Amazon. So yeah, but use the link in the show notes.
Yeah, use the link in the show notes. It is there now. But yeah, use the link in the show notes to head over there and grab it. It's how many different women are there? 120?
120. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So what I always say is like at the end of the game, you would then like the physical copy of it, you flip over your cards, combine them into one, and then you got a little book and your player aid, the back side of it is actually a cover of a book. So you're like making a little book and then you read your favorite character or like your favorite card out loud to your friends or your family or whatever. And so that's kind of a cute little thing. Also, if you had ended up in a tie, the tiebreaker is you would count the points on the actual cards, and whoever has the more points on the actual cards is the winner. So that's the tiebreaker. But yeah, so this is her story. I'm glad you liked it.
Fun.
Yeah. Also, this artwork is so pretty.
I'm just looking at how many because you had a couple of zeros in there.
Yeah, but you got a lot of bonuses from your getting 5 points every time.
Well, I
you had-
know. I'm looking at what our total would be. So you got 10, 20,
You're just curious to see like how much you could have maybe won.
31, and then 10, 27. So you would have won on the tiebreaker too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And once again, I super lost my own game. Cool.
I think it's a rule though, as designers, teaching your own game, you never win.
Correct.
Hopefully, because otherwise no one's going to play it with you. Granted, I apparently have said that I never win to the same playtester, and apparently every time she shows up, I do win. And so I just told her that she needs to come with me to game nights, and that she's going to just be my lucky charm. Maybe we should hit the bars. I wouldn't be single if I'd bring her around.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Quality stuff. The like I said in the beginning, the little envelope with the stickers and the bookmarks and the postcards as like a little thank you was great. The inserts awesome. I'm a stickler for inserts, but having the neoprene mat being rolled up in the insert in the box is really cool. Like the components are great. So well done all around. Well done.
Also the fact that the game just comes with the neoprene mat. It's not like an extra thing that doesn't actually fit in the box.
Yeah.
Love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks for showing us.
Yeah. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Cool. All right. Well, we played HerStory. I'm gonna like and subscribe before I forget again. We mentioned it's on the show notes. Use the link to go grab it if you're interested. We usually pop over to the Discord and talk a little bit afterwards. If you're free, we'll head over and see if anyone's over there and chat a little more because 2.5 hours of talking isn't enough. Danielle, thank you for the time. Thanks for hanging out. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for dressing up.
For sure. Yeah, totally. Also, if
Halloween.
anyone is trying to find me on social media, I could plug that too.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can find me at Token Gamer. So that's GAYMER on Twitter and on Instagram. So Token Gamer.
Yeah. Put Danielle on your radar. And she's in the industry. She's doing good stuff across the board. So if you don't know her, if you see her, are you going to be at PAX?
I will. I'll be at People of Play first, and then I'll be at PAX Unplugged, and that's it for conventions this year. I'm going to say that's it because I don't think there's many more that someone could ask me to appear at.
Yeah, no, well, December 2nd to 4th is PAX Unplugged, and then you're getting into right at the end of the year. So
Christmas.
Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks again for your time, and if you want to join us over in the Discord, we're gonna head over there now.
Be there for a little bit and then I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, right. I hear you. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Andrew, I see you just still around.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aww.
I agree.
Yeah, like engine build. I've had a lot of people say that. Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, it's also got story too, right? It's got your fun facts, right, that you have on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Are they called fun facts?
The top part is HerStory, and then there's like a kind of like a fun, like a did you know?
Yeah,
fact.
Did you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to spotlight, important.
Mm-hmm. I always say that this is a good like entry level if you want to teach Wingspan to someone because you're learning the engine building and the set collection, but it's like way more distilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Good
Definitely
stuff.
The streamlining. Good. Cool.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
We'll see you over in the Discord. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, Chris. If you made it to the end, we miss you. We'll see you next week. End broadcast.